solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass, yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad, yeah, somebody gotta do it. I ain't the G bad, yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga, what? They like, what he on? This the Alpha and Omega, bitch, welcome home. This is not a song, this a revelation, how to get a nigga gone. I need you a man, baby, I don't understand, baby. Pay a bill and make you feel protected like I can, baby. Teach you something if you need correction, that's the plan, baby. Don't put your life in these weird niggas' hands, baby. Whoa! It's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. I get on their ass, yeah, somebody gotta do it. I made them niggas mad, yeah, somebody gotta do it. I take the G bad, yeah, watch a nigga do it. We survived outside, all from the music, nigga, what? Hey, turn this TV off. Ain't with my type activities, then don't you get involved. Hey, look, how many shit I see, send them off. Take a risk or take a trip, you know I'm tripping for my dog. Who you with? Couple sergeants and routines for the get back. This revolution been televised, I fell through with the knickknacks. Hey, young nigga, get your chili up. Yeah, I meant that. Hey, black out, if they act out. Yeah, I did that. Hey, what's up, though? I hate a bitch that's hating on a bitch and they both hoes. I hate a nigga hating on them niggas and they both broke. If you ain't coming for no chili, what you come for? Nigga feel like he entitled cause he knew me since a kid. Bitch, I cut my granny off and she don't see it how I see it. Got a big mouth, but he lack big ideas. Send him to the moon, that's just how I feel. Yeah, then it's not enough. Few solid niggas left, but it's not enough. Few bitches that'll really step, but it's not enough. Say you bigger than myself, but it's not enough. Somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. Turn this TV off, turn this TV off. Turn this TV.
Nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help, but no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear.
Oh, what the fuck is up? I was gonna sing, but then I realized you people in this stinky insert town here don't deserve to hear me sing. It's John Escudero.
Are we here to ruin podcasting?
I'm here to ruin podcasting by performing just a step slower than I was able to my whole career.
And by giving you nothing new, which it's, yeah.
You deserve nothing! I'm here, though. Y'all give you something. I'll give you something. Watch this. No, don't call the police on me.
I got something for you.
I'm here with Nick and Greg, as always, as usual, as sometimes. It don't always be all of us. But we're all here now.
It won't be all of us in like an hour.
It's all of us now. That's what matters. Don't talk about the future. Don't bring that. Don't bring that up now.
No predictions for the future.
Don't put that evil
in the moment.
We live in the moment. That's actually really hard.
When I live for the moment, there ain't no in me.
I slapped the shit out of a tornado. The fuck you think this is? The fuck you think this is?
That fucking song is so weird.
You wouldn't. No, it's because you don't do drugs. You would slap.
That's not.
You have to do drugs to understand. I would slap a tornado too if I was on fucking Adderall or whatever the fuck they do in the South. I don't know what drugs
and dry up a sea.
In the Mid-Atlantic, of course.
They do a lot of cocaine in New York. That's what they do. That's bad. It's bad for you. It's not good for your nose. It leaves holes in your nostrils if you do too much, I think. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
I actually don't know that for sure. I might have just made that up. But it sounds plausible.
Terrible disinformation.
It just sounds possible. Like it sounds like a thing.
disinformation. We've never done that for 199 episodes.
199 episodes of pure truth.
Facts.
Pure
Don't
facts.
check.
We don't even check them because they're so true.
The trick is
Don't
that
need to check.
the trick is that facts are non-alienable, but truth is perspective.
Exactly. Greg, I don't know what the fuck you said. No.
Truth is scarier than fiction, but guess what? We ain't reading.
I never learned how to read.
How do
I'm
you
a
read?
wrestling fan. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Reading?
I
Nah,
mean,
man.
that might it's in some cases that might still put you a step above some wrestlers.
God damn. Greg, you don't need to know how to read to wrestle. That's the thing, right? You really don't.
If you can read the room, you might make it.
Why I know somebody has said this in a wrestling school somewhere.
Go for it.
What do I have to read? And what do I have to read to wrestle? Let me be dyslexic. You can't
might
be
have to
dumb.
read your contract, homie.
No,
I'm
you
picturing like you're in like a headlock in the middle of the ring and you like look up to the other wrestler like, hey, what does that sign in the front row say?
Is he like me?
Is that good or bad?
You can't be uneducated and have CTE. That's a fucked up combination. But yeah, man, it's pro wrestling. We're talking about the last week in professional wrestling. 199 times we have done this. 199 more before we're through.
And that's it. That's the end of the road.
And then that's it. 298. 398, we're done. Why
That's the
398?
cutoff, baby.
I don't know. 399 is a really
It just
unlucky
feels like
number
enough.
in my family.
That's only what, like 4 or 5 more years to go?
Anyway, there was a lot of shit that went down, so we can get right to it before we lose Nick. Jeez, we do have a lot of things to talk about. I guess the biggest, most recent thing is Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega getting officially announced for AEW All In, Balls In, Y'all's In, Texas.
Y'all in.
Yeah, all in.
It's bigger down there. Look, I swear. All you did was shave, silly. It didn't go anywhere.
Wow.
All things are bigger in Texas because it's hot and everybody shaves all the time. I get it now. It's simple math. Anyway, Omega versus
I hate you
Okada
so much.
5. Omega versus Okada 5 for the 5th time.
The winner takes it all.
Winner take my balls. Shit. I grew up. I didn't grow up watching Omega Okada, but like we're in a strange place where like people are talking about how this was like in their high school fucking rivalry, or this was the rivalry that made them discover like wrestling outside America. I was like, damn, I was balls deep in Japanese wrestling by the time that shit happened. Like, I was swimming backwards when we thought this feud might happen.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching Wrestle Kingdom for the first Okada Omega match and swearing and knowing in my soul Omega was gonna win that match, and then he didn't. I was like, what?
I've spoken about that match recently, and I feel like any feeling you have where like you're not getting it, it's just like, damn it, you may have had to be in the moment to get that extra understanding of how important every bit of those last 15 minutes were.
It was also what brought like a lot of my like more casual wrestling friends like into the fold. It brought me back into the fold, and it brought a lot of them into it finally.
And now you're trapped in the fold.
Yeah, honestly, there's no
Too bad,
escaping.
sucker. No. I like I said, I remember it was late, early. It was like 6:45, maybe almost 7 o'clock, and I was nodding out. And I just remember, like I said, everything felt like this was the moment Kenny Omega was gonna win the title, especially if you came from like straight from Western wrestling to like it was set up that way. Like this was it. And then Okada hits that spinning tombstone. I sat right up on my sleep. Oh shit! What is happening here?
It might be around the same spot, but like I knew it was serious when freaking Okada like front flips out of the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
And I was just like, excuse you?
Bow! Get down, bitch! I got another one for you. Oh God, I love that. I love that first match. It's never gonna get that kind of credit now because the other one, the longer one, and then the G1 are like the fucking the 2 out of 3 falls matches, like God level. Oh my God, you should teach this, tell the stories to your grandchildren, type shit. And then for me, the G1 match where they just
although the match is
26 minutes.
The match is somewhat harmed for me by the fucking pants.
By the pants? Really? The Okada pants?
They're so terrible. No.
It's fair, though. It's a fair one.
It's a fair complaint, but
they're so bad.
Like Craig said, maybe you might have had to be there for that first match, but I think it holds up because I was there. You can't take that.
I think it holds up as a great match. I think knowing the result takes the fire out of the last 15 minutes.
I get that. I try to watch. I used to watch wrestling pay-per-views on DVD 2 weeks after they aired, and I am trained in the art of gaslighting myself. I've been like
Avoidance.
not even avoidance, because you can't avoid it. You have to watch their fucking weekly shows. So I'm watching these shows and I'm just like, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe it did happen. Who's to say? I didn't fucking see it.
I credit some matches with the ability to be like I got into this knowing what the finish was, and then I'm watching it and I'm just like, yo, did I read this wrong? Does not look like so-and-so's gonna win?
That's how I treat it. That's how I treat everything I watch. Act like I didn't see it. Forgot. But yeah, now this is gonna be great on American soil for the first time. Which wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to happen.
A new decade as well.
It was supposed to happen 6 years ago in America. If Tony Khan hadn't come along and sprung us with AEW, they would have done Okada versus Omega in Madison Square Garden.
Garden?
The Garden! It's barren right now. Empty. They're not doing anything in there. I wonder why. They must be. I thought they'd be celebrating or something. I guess not. But we got like I said, Texas, all in Texas. Texas gets the match instead. They're a little older now. I don't know how that's gonna affect expectations because they're still both elite level performers. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder like what kind of match do they give us 7 years removed, like 7 years more mature, 7 years older? Is it a step slower than the other matches? Or is it smarter than the other matches?
Probably.
But you do gotta always consider, it's that aspect of we are here on this big grand stage. People came to see. I'm sure there's a lot of people coming to see this in particular. So I think there's that extra kind of surge of adrenaline they're going to be getting from that. That's just going to be like, coursing through their veins, and not to be like The Rock, but it's going to be like smacking on the goosebumps.
This is their 2003 March Misawa Kobashi. They're gonna do the ramp suplex. They're gonna.
I only got this match in me once a year. God damn it!
I'll make this one count.
No, man. I think, like I said, I don't know if they should try to recapture the magic exactly the same way. They're older. They should probably try to work an entirely different match. But then, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be as good? It's great. I don't know what people. That's such a crazy position to be in. Like as them, I don't even know if I don't want to be. Like we had the great, like what people have been calling the greatest matches of all time. There's people today that only watched WWE for their whole life, and then they watch Omega versus Okada, and it changes their entire life. It
infamously broke the Meltzer scale.
Yeah,
that's a misconception. The Meltzer scale was broken a long time ago.
You know exactly what I meant.
And we're going to talk about that tonight, actually.
You knew exactly what I meant.
After Nick has gone to bed, the grown-ups will talk about some real wrestling.
The adult portion of the show.
Talk with some good,
After dark.
some real stuff.
That's the Warzone episode.
If not Omega Okada breaking Meltzer's scale, they might have broke his brain. as no, I it's a joke that ever since he gave Omega and Okada first, I think first it was like 5.5 or something. First it broke the scale like that, and then the 2 out of 3 falls got like 7, something
I thought it was
outrageous
6.
or 6. It was like something like that, 6 probably something just
Yeah.
like because it was like damn they broke the scale the first time. How could they they double broke it this time? So ever since then.
It transcended.
Ever since then, he's given over 100 5-star matches, and before that period, he had given 5-star matches rarely, which is what made it so.
Unless it's Flair Steamboat.
Which is what made it so revered. I think it wasn't. I think it's funny that it's like it broke his fucking brain. Now he sees wrestling different, but in reality, it was a fucking shift in the style of wrestling.
Yeah.
All around the world, like, and it wasn't that Okada and Omega shifted the style of wrestling. It was just like things have been building to a place already. Like we're getting there already. Like we're just a couple years from AEW coming into existence. We were already bubbling and boiling towards wrestlers who grew up watching Japanese wrestling and they want to emulate Japanese wrestling style, or also the wrestlers who grew up watching the wrestlers who grew up watching the Japanese wrestling.
I mean, and listen, what is late 2000s Ring of Honor if not the best imitation you can pale up of Baba era fucking All Japan?
Essentially. And Okada Omega was
what was Noah at the time.
But Okada Omega was kind of built on the foundation of like not literally, but just the environment that we were in at that time. We had gone to that place from this era that Greg just mentioned. So
Remember,
like
we have the lovely tweet of the era too of 1989 Flair and Steamboat getting 10.25 stars.
10.2. I didn't see that actually. Shit.
All right, I'm gonna send the screenshot.
Might have to send me that.
I always wonder if you showed somebody without any of the reference of without any of the reference or understanding of the match, like if they would watch Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair today and just go 5 stars.
I think some of the, especially like older wrestling, like if they just come from today's wrestling and they go backwards and watch that, I think it depends on how old they are. Like if you show it to like a young kid, they're gonna be like,
sure.
Where's the fucking Canadian Destroyer? Like,
hey, we did cover
they're really holding this hammerlock.
We covered a Flair Steamboat match on the WCW recap show.
Holy shit! I didn't know
you
that.
did Chi-Town Rumble.
Damn, they did do Chi-Town Rumble,
which Dave Meltzer attended, and that's where he first met Ric Flair.
What did he rate that one?
5 stars.
That's a 5-star. Holy shit!
Star.
Did you think
all 3 of them 5?
They're all 5, and then there's a house show that was a 6, the first 6-star,
and a house show an afternoon house show that did 10.25 stars according to Dave Meltzer.
on this March 18th, 1989, Flair Steamboat Landover, Maryland house show, 6 stars.
This might be the one he's referencing in this tweet from 2017.
I'm not completely surprised because like that's what happened back then.
But yeah, I think it depends on how they like. I think that the same thing goes for like movies or anything foundational. Like I think when people see so much of the things that were inspired by it, when they go back and they don't realize that was the first one and they had to make it up, they didn't have themselves to be inspired by. That's what makes it so good. I think if you're not old enough to understand that, then you're not there yet.
I think everyone is beholden to a certain level of inspiration and homage, even when they don't intend to be. It's what you know, and it's what's burned into your bones in some level.
Yeah,
that's what makes those firsts important. But yeah, Omega Okada is one of those matches for a lot of people. And I can't even having been so jaded at the time when those matches happened, they still blew my mind. Okay, so I'm excited. I'm gonna see that. I gotta see.
And it helped at the time to see it at what was, even if it's only for Japan, like their grandest stage. You know, it wasn't just like this really good match. It was like it was the great main event. in the great setting of the Tokyo Dome at the biggest lights and every like it was. It's a very like earnest bit of perfection about the moment.
There's that. Then there's the 60-minute draw. The 60-minute draw, I don't know if that holds up today because people know it's a draw. It's one of the
that hurts it every time.
You had to fucking be there again. You had to be there thinking like, okay, well, Kenny didn't get it the first time, so
yeah,
sure this time. And they go this whole fucking match and neither of them is able to hit their finisher. But it's still all the way compelling. Like you don't even notice that until after it's over. You're like, wait, none of them were able to hit their fucking finish. It's 60 minutes. Holy fucking shit. It's an essential part of the story, I think. I feel like you gotta watch that
especially in an industry where you are primed to for people hitting them multiple times.
And absolutely. Even at that time. Like
the way that two guys know each other from fighting alongside and fighting, in that previous match.
I want to point out two things about that match that always, amaze me and stick with me. One, yeah, in an industry these days that is based around like the shock pop of like, oh my god, he kicked out of the big thing. They never hit the big thing. Neither one of them ever hit the big thing for 60 minutes. Two, the entire match is based around a drop kick.
Yeah, that drop kick becomes really important later on in a horrible way.
But, that too, yes.
Maybe we don't do that now. No, Okada's drop kick is like his main thing. But that's
it's mostly the idea that storyline wise, like the entire match is based on the fact that like Okada is constantly saving his own life with this dropkick.
Bow! Out of nowhere. Every time. I love it.
Every time Omega gets some momentum, dropkick.
And so it's the 60-minute match where Okada tries to hit the fucking Rainmaker and Omega just dies and dodges it by simply exhausting himself and falling to his knees.
Yeah.
And probably one of the most beautiful moments in pro wrestling history. I swear to God, man. I love that shit.
And Okada, having put so much into it, collapses all the way on the other side.
And they're both dead.
Japanese style.
It was incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. Timothy, thank you for joining us. Sometimes you can read each wrestler's next move by move or who's favored to win the match. It happens if you watch enough wrestling. You'll be like, damn, I can see where this is going. Especially if you're just watching a TV show like Raw or something. There's no reason. They're like, whatever. Signature finisher, it's over.
It's a 3-act structure, and if you learn the acts enough, everything falls into place every single time.
Yeah, stop trying to predict it. Is what I do. I gotta stop trying to predict every move watching a movie. I gotta just let it happen.
What I always tell our friend in the chat, which is just like stop outwriting the movie as it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Relax, let them do their thing.
You're so constantly trying to outwrite the movie as you're watching the movie. It's like, shut up.
You've seen 600 of these.
Let it cook.
So yeah, then you follow up with the 2 out of 3 falls, and Omega finally gets that win. Big emotional moment. The Young Bucks, Kota Ibushi in the ring. It was good. And Omega fucking went so goddamn hard leading up to that title reign that he did the reign with broken bones. He held the title with broken bones.
He said, "Fuck you, Kawada."
But they did give us that incredible match with Hiroshi Tanahashi, at least. Wait, was that
even if it did have a lot of weirdness going on?
Listen, we won't talk about how they felt because it was weird, but they're okay now. It was the old style versus the new style. I.e., Tanahashi's where are they going? Where is he going? Where are you going?
There were some instances in there, which is like, I don't know how common you could say that is with Japanese wrestling. Where I was just like, I don't know if Tanahashi's shooting here.
He's like, these motherfuckers and their moves, they don't matter. I'm gonna slow this shit down. Is Tanahashi threatening us with headlocks? I don't know.
But I thought it was very compelling in the sense that like it was a battle of like ideals, which is usually just so much. I don't want to like I don't want to dump on the most basic tenets of the industry, but like the battle of ideals is usually just always a little bit more interesting than the static good versus evil of it all.
Yeah. It was a shot at Harold Meiji. Okay, it was the old versus the new. Tanahashi trying to vanquish the white man, but he couldn't.
The white
He couldn't in the end.
was he from Holland?
He was from Holland. Isn't that like double
Holland.
white? Isn't that like triple white? It's the whitest.
It's
Yeah, so the Okada Omega quadrilogy, quadrilogy, that fourth match, the G1 match, where they just find each other later on after their feud is done, and
they're both
bump into
hurting.
each other, and they are dying, and they say, "You son of a bitch, I remember you." And they said 30 minutes absolutely speed running some of the greatest shit that you already ever seen. So I was just like, that's just fucking it. Like, if you just want to just you don't want to have 2 hours of Okada Omega, watch that G1 match.
Yeah.
That's the shit. And then is that the match where Okada drop kicks Kenny and falls on his fucking head?
It might be.
Yeah, that's where you got Vertigo.
Because I think it's before. I think it's before the pants.
Okay. I know, because I know. Then it's not that one. It's earlier in the thing. And then
What do you mean?
No, it's earlier in the career. I was wrong. But yeah, no, the G1.
Yeah,
shit.
it's Wrestle Kingdom. It's the Hour Broadway. It's G1, and then it's the 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
Did G1 last?
No, G1 was
No.
before the 2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls is what finished it.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Because then they would have had, because they did the draw and then the 2 out of 3 falls. Because the draw was the reason for 2 out of 3 falls. The G1 match, they have a decision. It's not a draw or anything. It goes 26 minutes, not 30.
Alright, January.
Yes,
4th
but they
is
both pretty much
Wrestle
agreed that they were just like not at their full like
Oh.
power.
Kingdom. January 4th, we had Wrestle Kingdom. June 11th is when we have the rematch. Then we have the G1 in August 12th of 2017, and then that leads us into the 7-star.
Who wins the G1 match?
The G1 match is in like August,
No,
and King of Pro Wrestling's like October. Who won? Okada, Omega.
I fucking swore that Okada Omega's final match was at Dominion.
I got all blurry.
Dominion's in June. No,
Yeah.
no, it's at King of Pro Wrestling.
Oh. That's not right. It's not at King of Pro Wrestling, because King of Pro Wrestling is where they do the triple threat. Cody, Ibushi, and Kenny.
None of that happened.
That happened. What are you talking about? They did that fucking triple threat match nobody wanted to see. Everybody was like, why wouldn't you just do-
Omega wins the belt, and then he's like hurt for several months, and he comes back at Wrestle Kingdom.
No, motherfucker, he wrestled. He wrestled. He won the belt, and he wrestled as champion.
I'm being a dick. I'm being a dick about everything that happens after he wins the belt.
Okay, because I was like that. I was like, wait a minute, don't gaslight me. I have enough of that to deal with.
I'm gaslighting myself.
Oh gosh, I mixed it all up.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see how that turns out.
It was a whole thing because like they do the G1 match and it's like it was a big deal because like Omega got the pin, but everyone knew it wasn't like you beat a fresh, strong Okada. So it was like a fitting victory. I don't know how to say that word.
It was like the breakthrough, but not exactly.
Yeah.
Give me one quick second. I'm fucking lost my whole outline. There it is. Anyway, I am excited for Texas, and I'll be there. Can't wait to see it happen.
Y'all in?
But y'all's in.
Y'all in.
But yeah, we also had some other shit going on this week. Some less fun stuff to talk about. R-Truth seemingly randomly, because I guess his contract was coming up and nobody was talking to him. And then he gets a phone call. You would think things are okay. He was on TV the Friday before he said it. He was on TV literally
He
Friday.
was, in a main event program with the world champion John freaking Cena of all people.
He did the John Cena thing, and then after that, he did the fucking match with
Swanson Reed.
Jeff Cobb.
No, Jeff Cobb. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, JC Mateo. He was like, I want to take your chunky boy to the ring and give him a fucking lesson. That was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he gets a call on Sunday. They were like, we're not renewing your contract. And he tells everybody that. And then the whole world just kind of stopped for a second. Like, wait a minute. R-Truth? What the fuck? He just had this match with John Cena. I thought my initial thought was that he retired. I was like, oh, he must be retiring. He must have had that match with John Cena. That must have been on purpose. But no, I think he was aware that he was going to be out of a job in a week. He was not aware. You would think you I don't know how it works in that company, but you think like you look at your contract and you're like, oh, that date is coming up quite soon. Like, but you're wrestling John Cena, but you're still like, but that date is coming up quite soon.
I feel like that's just the thing, though, is like, you've been like this consistent lifer for them, basically. And on top of that, you are in the main event with John Cena. Like, there's no way they're not going to re-sign you in a week.
You get the phone call, and you're like, oh, well, here it is. It's time for the re-signing.
Oh, what?
Oh, shit.
You're not. Oh.
What the fuck? He said, it was said that they told him he didn't do anything wrong, and like they're just not going to renew his contract. And then
the floodgates.
They did the same thing to Carlito and Valhalla. There was speculation that the Miz might be next because he removed WWE stuff from his social media, or his Twitter, at least. I didn't check his social medias. I only know about the Twitter.
I looked at the Twitter myself, and yeah, it's only his Peacock show and this golf thing he's got going on.
I have a friend of a friend in the company that says they haven't heard anything, but maybe he just knows it. Maybe he just thinks he's next.
I know allegedly a lot of people have been talking about his contract coming up this year.
And he hasn't, and it's not just him, because you would think maybe he hasn't been called, and he looks at, just like R-Truth, looking at his contract like, yeah, they haven't called me, and it's coming. So maybe
on the R-Truth thing,
it's not like anyone's safe.
But
on the R-Truth thing, is there anything to the point that that he was supposedly offered a lower deal and he turned it down?
No, that hasn't been discussed at all. Actually, no, it's been said outright that he was just told he wasn't being renewed.
Okay, that's what's been floating. That's what started floating around.
No, that man.
That he was offered a deal that was lower, and he turned it down, and that's what's gotten out into the public now.
That's different from what he kind of said on Sunday. It was like he got released. When you turn down a deal, you turn down a deal. It's very different.
Sure. That's why I was like, that's why I was asking you if you saw anything that substantiated it, because I saw it floating a bit.
No, I think people theorize like maybe because you can't understand like why R-Truth, how, but I don't.
Somebody put that out there. I don't know who.
They're not. I'm looking now and I'm not seeing any of that at all from anybody who matters. No.
I mean, that's pretty much. I've seen a lot of like what Greg was talking about, where people are kind of speculating, but.
No, but yeah, he's not.
That's one of those things. So like I hear a thing, and then I go to the other two guys. I was just like, did they say it?
You know what it is? It's the old TKO coming in, and they've got numbers people that have zero connection to WWE, none. Or even
they're just
UFC,
money people
or anything. They don't watch this shit. They don't have time. They do math for fun. And so and for fun, they end people's lives. This guy's getting paid way too much. What's the ROI, baby? What is the ROI? Let's figure it out together. It's a math problem. That's how they.
Nick, do you know this term?
Return on investment.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick knows. Nick knows way more than I do. I know that.
I just say return on investment. I never thought to put it into letters.
Corporate personnel, Nick.
Yeah. So honestly,
Jersey corporate baby.
Have you spoken to Nick from corporate?
Neek is Neek from corporate.
You're
All
funny.
right. We've done it. We've done it before.
Sorry, budget cuts. The Dirt Sheet guys are just back to us three.
But yeah, no. Of course, the latest update is that he was told specifically he did nothing wrong and that
Yeah.
he's not in trouble, but they're
Why
letting
let
him go. And so everyone was confused, including him.
Because wasn't he
He's like-
allegedly too like a top 5 merch seller?
Yeah. And
I believe
that
it.
same week with the John Cena
Yeah.
with the last
Which
time
is
is now
sort
shit,
of
Ron
ironic
Cena.
because he hadn't had any new merch in so long.
He finally gets some. He sells his shit, and they're like, "Woo, get him out of here!" wait. Lucky for
Sold
him,
out?
I guess not lucky, but a silver lining, a small one, that he does own his rights to his theme song, and WWE does own the name R-Truth, but Ron the Truth Killings, we all know who that is.
Yeah. Was he doing What's Up before he got there?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did it.
He was doing TNA, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so.
People over there, what's up?
What's
I
up?
told you that shit is coming out. That shit is gonna main event All In. No. But yeah, they're not the only ones. Karrion Kross is another one who his contract is coming up and has not heard from the company.
I saw that. I saw that on a Fightful thing, and I was just like, John. John?
Uh-oh.
John.
Yeah. Listen. I'm sorry.
It'd be an interesting time to do it.
I think now would be funny. Like this R-Truth thing is real interesting because, like we said, it's kind of like a heartless thought, like evil corporate decision, right? Because emotionally he's very connected to everyone, and in Vince's WWE probably would have had a job for a little bit longer, if not for life.
Forever.
And usually people like that get transitioned to like a backstage position.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the older they get and the more valuable they were to the company, they get transitioned to a coaching position or maybe a spot at the PC or a
Agent,
fucking
maybe?
agent, a producer. Outright releasing him left
Yeah.
a bad taste in the fans' mouth.
If nothing else, Vince had a certain value for loyalties.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's like a weird thing. That's what a weird thing is about what's happening here with this
Yeah.
R-Truth release is that for a second everybody stopped and went, well, that was definitely
Yeah.
that was definitely better in Vince's WWE, wasn't it? You made people stop and looked fondly upon Vince McMahon's WWE for a second, and that's where some people
Right.
have taken pause. Like,
And
Hold
can you just imagine, like, when you hear that R-Truth gets released, and at some point you just go like, "Oh, we're all vulnerable."
That's exactly what it is. Like
Yeah.
the bubble shield has just popped. No one is safe if R-Truth got cut. And on top of that, you're seeing online so many like, staunch WWE is great tribalists on there, and a lot of them are even having trouble trying to find some way to defend this.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things where you're gonna go, and I understand thinking like, okay, well, the fans, they're gonna get mad for a couple days. They'll chant "We want truth" on Raw like they did. They'll do it on SmackDown maybe. And
How
they'll-
dare you chant for someone who wasn't here?
And they'll probably forget, right? But I don't think that
Lower their volume.
one. I agree. It's probably gonna go away like that because that's how the fans are. They just they like their fucking entertainment, especially WWE fans. It's like they're just here for the show. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's where this ends. I think, like you guys said, it has made people in the company kind of realize, like, or change their ideas on how they thought their careers would go. I think some people thought, because it had been this way, if you get trained, you work your fucking ass off, you work through the indies, you make it to WWE, and you prove yourself valuable, then you will have a job for as long as you're valuable. And except now, it's not an emotional value they're looking for. Now you you actually have to prove it numbers wise. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of scary because sometimes it's not always in your control. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that pro wrestling, that idea of pro wrestling is gone over here. And it's not coming back. And there's no way that comes back. This is a whole new world. They find, like, it was like a slap in the face to the entire fucking locker room and basically the whole industry. This is life now. And now you've got people appreciating that another company popped up just before this happened, where it's
Yeah.
still owned by a person you can speak to, like
Right.
someone you can reason with, and not a machine. Say all you will about the fucking quality, I think it's almost like nature that it happened this way. It's fucking crazy. We lost. WWE's gone. I'm sorry. Like, that's crazy to say. We said it when it happened. We said this when TKO purchased the company. It was all people saying it's doom and gloom. You guys don't know. You saw it with
See
UFC.
Yeah.
You guys know better than I do. I know they got rid of people like Chuck Liddell, who were considered fucking a job for
So-
life.
Yeah.
So there were two guys that were on the forever list, I guess. The two guys that were known to be on the forever list, because it was Chuck Liddell, who Dana White had a very significant loyalty to for all the work he did and all the stuff that went on. Like, you were my guy through all the pay-per-views and whatnot when we were really doing hard work trying to build this company up. And there was Forrest Griffin, who basically saved the company with Stephen Bonner for that during the Ultimate Fighter finale, the thing that I think made John a fan.
Yep.
And yeah, those two guys basically had jobs for life strictly under Dana White, and then the new industry came in, and it's like,
TKO.
yeah, Chuck doesn't really do anything other than appearances and stuff. So no.
He can go. Oh shit.
It turned out that Forrest Griffin probably did a lot more work than Chuck Liddell did behind the scenes. So like he had accrued some value that made him keepable.
For a bit, anyway. Is he still there?
Yes,
He is? Okay.
he was just on the last episode. I actually got to check. He was just on the most recent episode of The Ultimate Fighter, and
very
I
nice.
think he still does work with the company.
So I just did some very quick research, and we're talking about you got to
So Wikipedia.
No, not even Wikipedia. Like, I'm looking at all kinds of different sources here, because it's like TKO wants you to bring in numbers, right? And they cut someone that was as loyal as R-Truth, but I'm thinking, like, as I'm seeing all these different things here, he was a top 5 merch seller. On top of that, he's main eventing Saturday night's main event, and of the 3 editions they've done, this one had the most viewership and the highest ratings, and that still wasn't enough to keep him.
They're gonna attribute that to John Cena, baby.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
giving it all to Cena. It's
What I also think is incredibly interesting. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
What I also think is incredibly interesting here is that, like, we're talking about these releases, and summarily, a lot of them are being done with no real, how do you say, like television exit. So like
yeah.
the idea of like not how well, but like how much information is being passed around and how quickly it's happening is very interesting to me. Like the idea that R-Truth was just gone, and like on paper, there's no reason to do the Jeff Cobb match because he just got the ending with John Cena,
But
right? Like that would be it.
that's the
Typically, if
big-
you knew you were going to release him.
that's the big difference now here. That's the thing. This fucking corporate entity is not aware or even cares. And the crazy thing is, people have taken that and they've separated Triple H from it. Because he's involved in this creative, he must not be involved in the corporate decisions. But
Even though
it's
on
not
the
the-
website it says talent relations under his thing.
Yeah.
he's literally the guy who makes the decision. And because he is
Yeah.
a corporate entity, he's an officer, a corporate officer. Or maybe he lost that position. Is he still?
He oversees the different departments of talent relations, creative services, and
Jesus
all kinds of
Christ.
things like that. So I refuse to accept anyone that's like, nah, he couldn't have been a part of this. Who do you think is signing off on this? I guarantee they are going.
I've heard on a few. I saw a few instances where they were saying it was his call.
Exactly.
He is the final word on every release. And
He's
it's
gonna
like,
sign off on it. He might not be the one
Yeah.
completely deciding that.
Yeah.
This is the person that's going to go, but he's going to be looking at this and he's going to be thinking to himself, "Do I have anything planned for him? Nah, sign off."
Exactly. There's a numbers guy who looks through the list of wrestlers, how much they're making versus how much they've made for us,
How much they can make.
how much they can possibly make. There's trajectories, and it's like, what are we doing with
Yeah.
this 52-year-old wrestler? Nothing. He's got to go. And the list goes to Triple H, and he looks at it and he goes, they can all go. I don't see color. And so
Mark Henry is my friend.
R-Truth gone, Carlito gone, Valhalla gone, and potentially others who you look down the roster and are sitting in the same spot that Carlito and R-Truth were sitting, because they had multiple Carlitos and R-Truths. Natalia's right there. Natalia's sitting right there. Sheamus. As much as I love Sheamus, as much as he's been on TV, what is Sheamus doing for WWE right now besides sitting in a spot?
Which that's going to be a huge one, considering, remember what a lot of people cited as Sheamus's early push was because he was Triple H's road buddy and workout partner.
If Triple H sees Sheamus on a list and says he can go, like that's another like that's another thing to think of. So, but again, this I think on the long term,
I think Natalya would be interesting.
I don't want to try to fantasy book people getting fired.
No. I'm not even saying that. I just think like it'd be interesting in the sense of like I came to the conclusion that they very much valued her spot as a vet in the locker room that was a guiding light for all the other women.
I don't think they value the vet that is a guiding light anymore. I think
that may be true.
Yeah.
Things change.
I think that the person who values that position is somebody like Vince, who was in charge but also connected. Like in charge but also sitting in the room. I don't think they care now. I think they see age, they see a number, they go, "Oh, what's this?" Get it.
I'm not saying TKO sees that value. I'm saying like inside the WWE structure.
You would hope for someone like Natalya, but then again, literally R-Truth. Like that's the shining example of that position. And like that, gone just like that. With no place to go, no home. And I think
I mean, he could always become the NWA champion for a third time.
We'll see. I imagine he'll show up in TNA, but like TNA is WWE now, so like, what the fuck is that? You know, like, what is that?
He's the same at that point.
You put him in the dog.
I meant to give you shit about Top Dollar getting back in NXT.
right through the back door. Except he has a different name now. Same with Elijah.
How many of these? Okay, yeah, that bothers. I don't mean to fucking derail this conversation, but I am so weird about how many of these guys are back in WWE being called their other name.
I don't like it.
Whatever, like Fandango was.
I don't like that at all. But the whole TNA WWE thing, we'll see how it ends. Hopefully, it works out good. I don't actually see it working out good, but we'll see. We'll still see. It's still early. It's good that they're on TV. I like the wrestlers get the opportunity to be on WWE TV, which is what they've always wanted. Certainly, TNA
except Top Dollar.
You get Mike Santana, who gets to be on CW Network in New York.
Santana's getting that job.
He's getting a WWE job. He's impressed people with his promo on NXT. They're literally they're not absorbing TNA, but TNA is what it is now. It's a pipeline. They're looking at it. People are there. They're looking at them. We got Joe Hendry. Who do we want next? Who's the next big one? I think
I had a good feeling when they picked him out that he was getting that job, and then they put him in like the main event pipeline, or at least the main event pipeline in the sense of the TNA championship. I was like, yeah.
I didn't watch the match, but I imagine it went well. I imagine it went well.
I have no idea. All I know is that I think he's using the discus lariat as a finish now.
They got to push Angel Ortiz when he comes back from injury now, out of spite.
I saw him doing a bunch of push-ups. I was like, God damn, shut up, Angel.
He's hurt. He's got a torn something. Something or other.
Wasn't he working with Kingston?
Eddie Kingston has been off of TV for a year and a half.
Yeah, but when they were working, that was like the last thing those two were doing.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him after that, but again, I don't know when he got injured. I just know that he's injured. And he was doing push-ups, like you said. I did see that. I have him on social media.
He was all jacked.
He is very jacked. Very jacked. I just wanted, but what I was trying to say about the R-Truth thing was that I think a lot of wrestlers in WWE are now who may have been thinking that they were going to be loyal to that company or maybe had a loyalty or an idea of loyalty might think about possibilities outside. What does it look like out there? I didn't think I had to look. I didn't think I had to look out the window. Now I have to look out the window. And I think a lot of people are going to be willing to not only jump over, but to jump back. I had got this idea of people who had jumped from AEW to WWE. Who's going to be the first to try to jump back?
Hey, Tony.
I looked right at Andrade. You stupid bitch. You stupid bitch.
Things didn't work out how I thought. Can I come back, boss?
Like, where did you think you were going?
Oh man,
that's funny as hell.
So the AFO.
Honestly though, of the people who have been released now, these older wrestlers and some of the ones who might get released coming up, maybe The Miz, maybe Karrion Kross, I don't want to see any of these guys in AEW. I'm sorry. R-Truth, you can, like, older wrestlers you should be looking at for producer positions, cameos, fucking valuable backstage. I love R-Truth, okay? I love the R-Truth in WWE as the jester that he was and showing up every once in a while and being confused and being comedic relief and the Judgment Day thing. And that was really fucking funny. And he knows how to make anything work that they give him. I don't need 52-year-old R-Truth coming in and taking a spot on TV right now.
No, man, no.
A featured spot. Like
not a featured
a
spot.
Cameo.
Something. He could still go though. Like,
there's a version of Ron Killings that I would be somewhat amused to see, but like for the most part, I don't know. Just make music, dog.
Listen, I think that there was a period of time where, like Vince said, he was going to release wrestlers, and I swear he even said, let them sign as many as they can. And the idea was that maybe he might be trying to overwhelm Tony Khan with free agents. And it fucking worked, if you ask me. And for a period there, a bunch of people got in that maybe looked like would be good fits, but shouldn't have, because they were bringing in so many guys. And you ended up with little Trojan horses like Miro and fucking Aleister Black, who valued themselves so much that they saw no value in the company. They saw the company as a way to position
get back in.
Yeah. And so you don't want guys like that. You don't want it. I know it's real
Although
nice.
in fairness, you have accused one of the founders for also using it as a psyop.
He was doing it the whole time. I'm not gonna get into this.
Listen, you got a lot of people though that do see it as the stepping stone. I mean, we just saw like with Mariah May and whatever her new name is gonna be.
She knew it from the start.
I'm not saying that it's a bad, because it's inevitable. You can't avoid it, and you don't want to avoid good prospects just because they might have a loyalty or an idea that they're going to use AEW to get back to WWE, but you need to be in control of that. You own the company. You can't be like I'm paying you. You're going out there to lose today. Like, that's your job. I didn't pay you to give me your opinion. Like, I paid you to go perform. This isn't real. This is a scripted television show. When I say this person's going to win, that's who's going to win, because I fucking own this place. This idea that you can protect your character to the point where, like, you're going to get paid to sit home, it was crazy to me. But I'm glad they're in a place now where you've rid the locker room of those guys. Miro's gone. Aleister Black is gone. The Lucha Bros, they wanted to leave, they're gone. The guys who want to go and they're showing it, like, get them out of there. They don't need that, because you have so many people who want to be there. And people who just left WWE, that fucking wound is sore. Let them work that shit off. If you want to get the AEW, prove that you want to get the AEW. Do some good work. Get a buzz and give them no choice to bring you in, because you have a buzz. And there you go. That's how that works. Because signing people just to sign them because they left WWE and they have name value, it didn't work, man. That's all I'm saying. As harsh as that may sound, I know some people it's like, R-Truth is my favorite. You got to save him. It's like,
do you?
I don't know how that works.
He's got more than enough money. He doesn't need to do anything. But he's going to be my one exception. But like, I never want to see any wrestling company really be the type to like, okay, who am I going to grab from this lot or this lot? Okay, I'll grab all of these guys. Because again, like you were saying, it's going to muddy the waters way too much. You're going to overload your own roster, which is already stacked as is.
Jeez.
I think where R-Truth is concerned, he can still go with like the best of them. Nobody moves like he does, and with all the advancements in sports medicine, I mean, look at what Sting and Billy Gunn, were able to do. And I think one of the big things that I'll say too with R-Truth is he seems like one of those guys that is just a gem. He is one of those guys that I think, if he does get in the right way, he could be that kind of multifaceted, multi-tooled player. He already has a lot of friends there that I think really want to bring him in, like Dustin, like MVP. And so I think, yeah, there might be at least some effort in there to get him, because he would be a great name backstage. He'd be a great, another legend for the learning tree who's not really necessarily, I would think, trying to go out there and do much, because again, he doesn't really need to compared to so many of the other guys who only have wrestling, because he's been making pretty good money, I hear, from the social media posts he does, and plus with like the whole rap career and music. Yeah, so I think he does have a lot of more value than just like The Miz or Carlito would.
I think for sure R-Truth should get a Big Show job. Like he's backstage. He does whatever they do backstage. I am not sure what that man does backstage. They do a fucking cameo that's funny. He goes, "Hey Dean, what are we doing here?" Because it's John Moxley or whatever he calls him as WWE name. Whatever fucking funny joke you want to get off your chest. But I don't need a featured position for R-Truth or anybody who got fired right now, except for maybe the younger girls. But even they don't need like a featured position. You got to work your Cora Jade, work your ass up. Gigi Dolan, work your ass up the ladder.
They've never hired Cora Jade before.
Bring it, put her right back with the same place you had her when you hired her the first fucking time, because she ain't done no development.
Prove yourself.
No, it's called ROH now. You put her on ROH. You put her on Ring of Honor and work your way up that ladder. Who else left? Valhalla? No, leave your stinky ass at home. I know the type of shit you be looking up online. No, fucking.
Shit.
Yeah, you're gonna be a little of a damaged good.
Yeah, no, she can stay home. Miz.
No.
Miz, we should Miz AEW should hire him and have him teach a class on how to work the safest, most fucking generic, injury-free wrestling style.
Counteract bullying.
That motherfucker went like 20 years in with like an injured pinky at best. Maybe he should go and teach a class about how to slow all the way the fuck down to Miz level.
Listen. I think there is the possibility for very interesting TV with the Miz, but it's not something I think about long term.
Gunther and Cross. Gunther's not going anywhere. Gunther just signed a new contract. He got a bus. They gave him a tour bus. He ain't going nowhere. Cross, probably. They kicking his ass out. He getting out.
He's too vocal for them.
He cut that promo. They were like, "That's cool." Anyway,
I will say, and that's another one of those weird things too, where they're still booking around that, but like make it like go. I also just for funsies, like there's a version of Carlito who I wouldn't mind seeing appear, just because I would get a giggle if Carlito on AEW television brought the PlayStation with him and now has to play Fight Forever in the background.
And he's like complaining. He's like, this is not the same. This is kind of fun. Why did people forget it? And then the next week he's not playing it because he actually ran through all the modes already. And
he got frustrated because he couldn't create himself.
He couldn't create himself.
Couldn't properly create himself in there. I had enough of this.
I like when AEW does like the wrestling history cameos. Like it's like because we're in Puerto Rico, and then Carlito comes out and does a spot. Like, yeah, that's always cool. That's always funny. If you're Sabu randomly coming out for that fucking Chris Jericho Adam Cole match, God, 1 minute in,
goddamn sense.
Just 1 minute into his appearance, just jumps and crashes through a table for no fucking reason. It's the most Sabu thing you've ever fucking seen. Just
he used to do that.
There was no reason for it, and I'm like, thank you.
It's
Thank you for
Sabu.
that.
This man and Adam Cole has probably never met.
And now he's gone. That was so fucking fast. No, man, I like that shit. But I just don't know if that needs a full-time job. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The boat is full. It's full. Close the door, Tony. Close that shit. Close that shit behind you. They're signing prospects. They're signing fucking Josh Alexander. They're signing fucking Megan Bain. Mina's a little older.
I'm not sure if
and,
Josh Alexander.
he's a prospect. Shut up. He's a young blue chipper.
Not. They did
He's very
let a
old.
couple people go themselves recently, or just not sign their contract.
Abaddon.
I did hear
She's
that.
not,
I fucking
she's-
hate you.
I couldn't help it. It came out before I even thought about it.
They were solid all around though. I enjoyed Abaddon's work, even if it was just like on Halloween. But hey, they're gonna do something. I know it.
That was the thing with them. I was like, we pay them to come once a year? Like, just that's a crazy thing. Like, you could actually just pay them on Halloween. And then they would just come in. Like, we got your first spot on Halloween. You could give them $1,000 and not spend $24,000, you know, like, or whatever.
I really felt bad that they let Bear Bronson go because none of that was his fault at all.
No, that was fucked. Yeah, the other one was an abuser.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fucked up. It was like bad. It was like real bad.
It's like a 400
And they both lost their jobs for it. James.
Well, no, the other one lost his job, but this one was on contract for like a year after that. But he didn't have
I
nothing.
see.
They didn't have anything.
They had nothing for him.
Yeah. You were a
that's
bear.
terrible.
A bear with no cave.
Which is like, it's interesting too, because like they would throw him out there as a
They couldn't
solo
give him a
guy.
cub?
Remember,
Well, but
because he was even like the second or third guy they fed to Hook.
what are those
I
Iron
remember
Savages?
that.
Whatever
Yes,
happened to
because they
them?
did the thing with the power bomb and people got mad about it.
Right.
Just reminded me of the Iron Savages, who I
Yep.
just
Jack
disappeared.
Jameson's still there at least.
Jack
Who was that?
Jameson. Yeah, he's in the
Who were
frat
the
house.
Iron
Savage-
Savages again? I remember
Savage
that
Sauce.
name.
It was Bear Country and Jack Jameson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn. They could have been Jack Jameson and fucking Bear Bronson could have done a thing.
Right. Why didn't they throw him in there with the frat party?
Nah,
The frat
I like
house.
the frat. I like the frat house. I saw them for the first
They're
time.
so fun.
I didn't know. I seen pictures of it. Greg had told
The
me Griff
frat-
Garrison was doing something,
This is what he was doing, yeah.
and I just didn't. I was like, all right, it's like Ring of Honor. I was like, if it matters, they'll bring it to the TV. And I guess it got over to the point where they brought it up to Dynamite. And from the moment I heard their theme song, I was like, what the fuck is this? And they all came out like drunk Chase You. And I was like, I think I like this.
This is the part of Chase You that John has been waiting for.
Yeah, this is what I would want them to be.
I love the thing too was when they were on like main TV too. Like after all the wreckage is done, it looked like just the end of like a frat party. Like,
Yeah.
cups everywhere. Everyone was just like all laid out. It was the greatest scene they could have
Can
done.
I-
Had. I also appreciate the fact that like they throw in random jobbers as their pledges, and they just get crushed. I
Yeah.
love it.
Win or
Yeah.
lose, we booze. I was like, I like these guys. I like them a lot.
Jesus. First off, what is that James Van Der Beek movie?
Fuck
Yes.
you. Wet Hot? No, not Wet Hot America. That's another movie.
It's the
Varsity Blues?
Curbside Hero.
Varsity
Oh
Blues.
my gosh.
Preston Vance's 1000 gimmick change. Listen, they've seen something in Preston Vance since day one, but they just have not been able to pull it out of him. Unfortunately.
He's got the look. Remember when he like randomly, along with Trelishko, beat
Okay.
up the cartel?
What if we put him back in the mask?
I needed to double check that the analogy worked, but like, yeah. I wanted to point out for Griff Garrison that this gimmick is just the college version of the goddamn Varsity Blondes.
I actually like that continuity. I think he's still in the same
Perfect.
college.
He's
But with-
doing the same shit. No, Varsity Blues is in high school. They
Oh,
have high
fuck.
school jackets.
Oh, that's right. Now he's graduated, and the other one went to a different school in Orlando. And this one,
he went to the film school.
this one, he's a theater kid. He paints his face and shit.
And fucking Griff Garrison went to college on a football scholarship and is just
living his life.
just doing the fucking Blue Mountain State shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck we ended up talking about the frat house.
I just amused that it clicked in my head like, wait, Griff Garrison actually has continuity here. Everyone else is doing his gimmick.
The shared pocket accessory.
Oh my god. No, that's syphilis waiting to happen.
Oh no. That's exactly what happens in the episode, yes.
That's the episode Blue on State that stands out in my mind the most.
Is it the syphilis episode?
I only saw the first season of that show. I have to go.
Oh, really?
Was that not in the first season?
Yeah. That's why I knew. That's why I knew the reference. But yeah, and the guy whose girlfriend won't fuck him unless he unless he wins a title or whatever, and she was fucking other people. Like, what the fuck? That's real life. That's too real, dog.
Oh yeah. The gold digging girl, the gold digging girlfriend that's in all the Old Spice commercials.
Speaking of gold digging, no, that's horrible. That's horrible, right? Oh my god, I'm kidding. I didn't say it. I just said it because I was saying it. I don't mean it. Mariah May.
I was gonna say Jakara Jackson.
Hey, fuck you. She's fun. She got fired.
That was her gimmick. It's on her tights.
Is it? But
yes.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get in trouble for that.
All right, Greg, prove it.
Yeah, I don't want to get my ass beat.
I have the video game. It's on
she's with Kevin Knight. She's with Kevin Knight from AEW's Kevin Knight.
Oh, like for real?
Yeah. They together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mac doesn't have his AirPods and he has to listen to his own thoughts at work. But you're with us now. Don't worry about that. You want to talk about Mariah May, Mac?
Hey, Mac's not, unfortunately, going to be with me because it's bedtime. Yeah. So I am going to let everyone go. But thank you, and I can't wait to hang out with you guys on the next episode where we celebrate 200.
200. Well, we're 199 in here tonight. But see you later, Nick.
Good night, lads.
Later.
Mariah May jumps over from AEW to WWE, and super fast. The news came out just a couple of days ago. That Mariah May would be leaving AEW. Her contract was up. She was taken off the roster page. And actually, the agent told the Fightful that she was still on the contract with AEW and that it hadn't run out yet and that it would be running out soon, but it was a lie. It was a good old-fashioned work. As the contract apparently ran out on the 1st of June, along with a couple of other ones like Abaddon's. And she jumped over.
By the way, even though I know they don't really do releases in the classic sense, do they have no compete clauses in AEW?
No.
Okay.
No, they don't. I think they should do them only out of spite. This way you can know. You can know. Yeah, give him the 90-day. 90. But yeah, no, see, so she debuts on NXT, big old surprise, lights out, lights on. She's here. She doesn't have a name yet.
She got the Sabu?
She did get the Sabu, but it was slow because she's the glamour. The glamour. That's all they called her so far. She is the glamour, and she is making the quote-unquote, her quote, the best women's division in the world more glamorous. I was like, something tells me they didn't have to tell her to say it. It's been kind of known, I guess, on some. I've talked about it forever. I talked about how she came up as a WWE fan. Like, I remember following her on Instagram because she was a pretty WWE fan before she started training. That's literally why I followed her. And then she became a wrestler.
Hot girl like wrestle.
Hot girl like wrestle. I like hot girl who like wrestle.
Girl, no real graphs. No.
Yeah, she became a WWE shop model. She's always posting about WWE. And she trained. She worked her way up through the ranks.
Like this is the job she wanted.
She went to Stardom, and she even had done a WWE tryout. Mag mentioned, like, she didn't get signed. She fucking went all over the world. She got better. She went to AEW. Did the one story, work the top of the card the entire fucking time, and left. And I think that people who think that she did something wrong, or maybe she was using AEW, I don't know. Everything is so clean and perfect, and both of them got so much out of each other. Both of them being the company and Mariah May and Tony Storm and everybody involved. It doesn't feel like someone who just jumped off, a symbiote who just took everything they could, a parasite, and just jumped off to WWE. It feels like a very fucking beneficial relationship for both sides.
So many would argue, and maybe this is just traditional wrestling standard fare, that like AEW lost because they set up a top star and didn't get to keep it. Like you didn't get all the mileage out of Mariah May that you probably could have. She worked one angle.
I feel like that would be, I think in a traditional sense, like if it wasn't so cut and dry, like if it wasn't so clean, it's literally, and for Tony Storm, ironically, this is literally like a film. If you used Mariah May to make Tony Storm even bigger at the end of the day, but it was not. But it didn't feel like that. It honestly feels like it worked for everyone involved. But the story, the way the story was set up, with Mariah May coming in, getting her shit off on Tony Storm, and then Tony Storm getting revenge, and then finally, killing her in the end. She died. Like, she died. Did we watch the Hollywood ending? It was quite an ending for Mariah May.
The villains come back though.
Sometimes. I don't know if you've been watching those Marvel movies, but they sometimes just die, and they should.
We did bring back Red Skull.
We did, but kind of. Not really. But yeah, no, she came in, she did her stuff, she went on she didn't go over on the way out, I don't know that there was any waste here. I think you even got the world title run, which like I said, I'm of the mind that they all knew. I just swear, it feels like everybody involved just knew. Like, we were aware that we were going to get 2 years. And even the contract length.
It seems like an interesting thing to agree to.
2 years is crazy. It's a crazy contract length. None of these things make sense in the context that, because nobody else has that 2 years. No, this was just like, everybody in the industry is like, what is this? No third-year option? It doesn't make any sense to anyone who's listening. That's why I'm like, in this context, nothing makes sense. If you're like, well, she got away, they must have found out months before the end of the contract and she got away. So this idea that they booked the Hollywood ending for her to lose that way was because she's leaving. No, the story only made sense to end that way anyway. I don't know what else they would have done with Mariah May. I team her with Mina. Nothing would have ever reached these heights. I don't know. I just don't know.
That feels like an indictment on the booking, but
yeah, you've peaked. I don't know if you need to. People peak all the time. Stone Cold peaked like fucking a year into the big run. Then the rest of the stuff was people complaining.
That's true.
They did the McMahon stuff, and then everything else was people complaining. God, this fucked up. God, that fucked up. God, the heel turn shouldn't have been that way.
Well, that was 2 years after into the run.
How many?
2.
It's an interesting number.
Yeah, but Stone Cold was on top those whole 2 years.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know that it makes sense in any other way.
If I'm talking about like 2 years, I'm talking about from WrestleMania 15 to 17, where he got the belt and ran with the belt.
I say 14 to 17. I give him 3. Give him 3 years.
That's fine.
Because that first year had the that 4 weeks in October that really put it over the top.
Sure, I think about the Rock program so often that like it sometimes slips my mind that the Shawn thing happened and then we just moved on very quickly.
And the fucking McMahon angle, Greg, the Vince McMahon, the whole thing. He did a whole feud with him. They had like segments. He did a car, concrete, all that good stuff. He was gonna shoot him. He pissed himself. Fun time.
But also within that time, McMahon was also the babyface and the heel.
It's so weird. They'll
like when he saved his daughter.
They'll take me to the son of a bitch. Take me to him.
Get that son of a bitch.
I don't know. I know it sounds
now a
crazy.
meme that has absolutely zero context to what was happening.
I know it sounds crazy, but I can also hear I know it sounds crazy as the beginning of a pitch where we're talking about bringing this girl Mariah May in just to do an angle with Tony Storm. Like it doesn't seem so far-fetched to me for whatever reason, especially with the way these things turned out. Of course, there's always the optics thing, and you're just like worried, like, what if it looks like we lost another star? We don't want that. I don't know. But if you're willing to do business the way they did business, look how it turned out. I think it turned out A-okay for everyone involved. That fucking Tony Storm, Mariah May story is one of the best stories the company's ever done all the way through. You can put that in a 2-hour YouTube video and show it to your fucking mom. And she'll watch
I got
it.
real weird about it at the end.
You don't like the end? That was my favorite fucking part. They tried to kill each other.
No. Understand. I didn't see the match because you went to the show and I haven't seen that pay-per-view.
You've never seen the match?
I've never seen that whole show.
What the fuck?
You didn't order it.
We have to stop. We have to stop.
You didn't order it. Oh, go fuck yourself.
Shut this shit. Shut this shit down.
But no, I don't mean like the very last match. I mean like the TV they were doing toward the end.
There
like,
was
I think Mariah May was doing this weird like woman from hell thing. I'm just like, okay, what even is this at this point?
she was just deranged, or at least that's the way I took it. She had lost that belt and she just didn't know how to handle it. And she was like, "I'm from hell. I will kill you. I will kill you." And Tony Storm kind of, even that last promo. Honestly, that last promo probably is a good encapsulation of what that last couple weeks of TV was. That Mariah May just being like kind of feral and Tony Storm just being like, "I understand. I'm going to kill you. Like I'm going to kill you."
And fucking Renee just like, what the fuck is happening?
Like, what am I doing here? Of course that promo, the words, the actual verbiage in that promo.
Yeah, they're gonna use that against her for a while.
Knowing what we know now, it's clear that they knew what Mariah May was gonna be doing next at that time.
Is that what's clear?
That's clear. That's very clear. I think that's what's so weird about wrestling. Like, you say something like that, it's like, that's kind of mean. Damn, girl. Like, but it's wrestling. Like, it's supposed to be mean, but it's also like, damn, that's really mean. Like, are we friends? Like, damn, bitch. Like, ouch.
I always find the idea of whether or not you find those words to be true because you went to the WWE to be very interesting. But it's all like that's a matter of perspectives and personal taste. It's just weird.
I think you just gotta be confident in your relationship with this person. Like, that if you don't like each other, he probably means that. But
I don't know, but I'm thinking about like how people have received it as viewers.
I don't think that they were like malicious. I just think it's like it's just one of those things. It exists on video. You can weaponize it. Like, this is it. Here you go.
I don't believe anyone thinks that Tony Storm was being malicious, but I think it's interesting that they've bought into the idea that like everything Mariah May will do will be lesser because she's in the WWE now.
It would be kind of wild. Well, listen, you didn't see the fucking match. I don't know how to. It was a.
I don't believe that accounts for whether or not something is lesser or not.
I need you to have seen that kind of performance, because that's honestly
what really matters.
You're never gonna do.
Her career is lesser.
I don't know about her career, but there's a level. There's a level of performance that she will simply not do again. They just
but I don't know if
gonna.
That makes it lesser or not.
They're just not going to do that. For some people, if you prefer something and you're never going to see it again,
which I said was a matter of probably perspective.
But otherwise, most people are just going to troll, and then I don't think you need to really consider whether whether it matters. I don't think you should give weight to whether they think she's actually going to live a lifetime of mediocrity. Of course, being WWE, seeing how things go, there's always a chance. and then that video will be a fucking horrible haunting thing that will just exist on the internet forever. But
I have
think
found
Mariah
that
May's-
sadly to be a very real chance for a lot of people I believed in.
I think Mariah May is actually pretty much pre-built to be in WWE. Like I think she's got everything WWE wants, and she came in with a little extra sauce and flavor from world travels. So I think she's gonna be fine. But I also don't really have an issue with her in NXT because I think she probably thought she would come in like I like damn man, I went through all that shit and they still put me in NXT. But Jordan, Grace, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, they all just went through the motions. So there's no surprise to me that Mariah May's in NXT. I'm not really hooked to this. I know Mac is listening.
But
Mac
I also
is
agree
laughing
that
at this idea that she had done just won the world title at Wembley Stadium and now she's in a warehouse in front of 200 people. And I'm just like, I'm not really mad about it. You know, like it is what it is. It's just walking through the door. I don't believe she'll be there
I think
long.
that same argument can be made though about like I was just in the fucking Ryogoku Kokugen and now I'm in this fucking random arena in what did you say, John? Wichita Falls?
Wichita Falls, Kansas. There's
Kansas for
2,000
AEW?
people here, and there's only 1,000 teeth. I don't know what the fuck the math is going.
I think that same logic goes from like working Sumo Hall in Stardom, or wherever she worked there. I know she did get to work some big arenas. Like you did that in Stardom, and then you go to this small arena, and then you build your way back. Like it's just different leagues, man.
Yeah.
Like is it nice to be fucking AJ Styles and go from the Tokyo Dome to like Royal Rumble, motherfuckers?
Yeah, let me tell you.
sure.
Let me tell you something, pal. There's only one AJ Styles.
I'm just saying, is it nice? Yeah, but you know,
that's what I'm saying. Like, as a wrestler, you should always be reasonable. You are not AJ Styles, and it don't matter who you are not AJ Styles. So yeah, Mariah May comes to NXT and
Bar, you are not AJ Styles.
That's everyone. That's an evergreen comment. You would never be AJ Styles.
Who? Now I'm trying to remember who got. They main roster Jade Cargill and like immediately regretted it.
That was right. That was a bad move. AEW is funny as hell for that. They were like, yeah, fine. We don't give him any of the training wheels. Send her without the training wheels. You got this. That's I always thought that was a freaking pretty good indictment, like a pretty good shining light on AEW. Like, damn, look at how good you protected her. They actually thought she was ready. No, it was like we oh shit.
Did and didn't in some ways. I think of the chair story she told.
I didn't know how to do. No, I mean protected her, not so much taught her, because they were still like
they weren't really protecting her in the ring in some way.
Oh yeah, that's different. Bitch, you're gonna learn today. That's this is pro wrestling.
That's why they did and didn't. There were some weird things they left out.
It was like, I'm swinging this shit. They were like, swing it. swing it.
Is some people gonna die? Yeah.
Yes. No. Well, getting back to Mariah May, and
absolutely.
She's positioned immediately. Like when they cleared out NXT of the top of the women's division, and you could argue that they skipped the line or whatever, but I'm sorry, Jada Parker is not Stephanie Vaquer. She's not Julia. She's not fucking Jordan Grace. Like these girls they were more than ready when they got here. They were simply going through the motions and taking their intake tests and getting right up to the main roster. And I
like Jada Parker, but girl need work.
I like Jada Parker, absolutely, but she's green. She's greener than fucking weed I'm gonna smoke after this. She's green.
Oh Jesus.
That's fine. That's fine though. That's what you expect on NXT. That's not like a insult. I'm sure she would be like, "What do you know? Fuck your sexy ass. What the fuck you gonna do to me? You green. You fucking child in the ring. The fuck? You a baby in there."
Yeah.
No. And that goes for a lot of them. The low vices of the world. You know, they still got things to learn.
Sure. Like
So
there's a reason. There's a very good reason people like Julia, Jordan, and Stephanie get fast tracked. Like they already had it.
Mariah, Jacy
But that's
Jayne.
more the reason to keep that's more the reason to keep Mariah in NXT because we just fast tracked 3 other women.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she's going to get fast tracked like in 3 months because they literally just got rid of everyone else.
Yeah.
I think they brought her in to be the centerpiece of that division for a little while, and I don't think it's going to be very long before she wins the title. Actually,
You mean
I
it's not
going to
be Jacy Jayne?
I wouldn't be surprised if JC drops that belt on July 12th. At Great American Bash, because then you can do the Mariah May thing and run it at the same time as all. Just run it at the same time as All In. That's so funny because that show didn't exist.
Brit, John?
I need you to understand, Greg.
You're telling me we're running the Great American Bash just so we can lose to them?
She's already Toni Storm, Australian, Mariah May, British.
But
Gave me the
Great
greatest
American Bash,
the
John.
greatest American women's wrestling match I've ever seen.
I don't know about all that.
You don't know because you've never seen it. So you
I
literally don't know.
I have a higher bar for that.
Your bar is not touching this. Actually, me and good old fucking Eric Stevens from Ring of Honor agree on this. Actually,
That's fine.
I'm going with Eric Stevens because he agrees with me.
I don't agree with Eric Stevens
like
on everything,
people
but I
who
agree with him on a
agree
lot
with
of things. I'm sure you do.
I don't like you, Greg. How dare you? No, for a long time, the greatest women's match I had ever seen in person. I've seen a lot of matches.
Well, that's a different bar.
That's what I said. You didn't let me finish when you started talking. I said
You said ever seen.
Yeah, like with my eyes. I meant in person.
That's not the same thing.
I don't know how it played on television. I was in the arena for this match. It's different. It was special to me. So when I came home and I saw that so many other people felt that same way, but they watched it through their screen, that's when I started realizing we might have something. But this for the longest time, it was Bayley and Sasha. And I was like, that was special. I remember how the feeling of Bayley going up for that Poison Rana and being like, what the fuck is this on this WWE television? I know it was almost blasphemous for me to say it. I didn't even say it until now. That match between Toni Storm and Mariah May happened in February, and it took me until June to actually cement that I had witnessed a better match than that, and that was it.
Well, I can't speak on the live experience in either capacity. So
there was a moment in God. I'm gonna pull it up because it was fucking great. Toni Storm and Mariah May are having this match, and you already know we talk about it all the time. I love the plunder. I like me some high budget, big budget plunder
I know
matches,
what you're gonna pull up.
And they're fucking brawling, and Toni Storm pulls out a bucket, and I'm like, are those fucking thumbtacks? And my son is like, nah, man, those are glass bottles. And I said, they should do a Type A death match. And I have the fucking moment.
Does your son even understand that reference?
No, he wouldn't have. I had no reason to show him one before this. As much as the idea of a Type A death match sounds crazy, have you actually seen that match? They're very scared to hit each other in the beginning. It's very trepidatious.
Axel and Ian? No, I have not.
You never did? You actually should. You're the fucking ECW guy.
Yes, but I've told you how I feel about those years.
It's early and it's real funny because they have like shoot glass, big shards too, and they're like, it's very trepidatious in the beginning. We're very scared to actually
they immediately realize this was a stupid idea.
Yeah, and then they don't, because it's hard to work a punch now because you have glass all over your fucking hands, so they take the shards off. And they have to do rest hold spots where they just rub their forehead with the glass. And it is not the best match you can ever see. But the idea of it, it's really cool. So,
The idea of it.
so they pull out this fucking
It's
glass.
fucking what's his name over here? The actor.
The
Ray
it's
Stevenson.
the implications. The idea. Rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. But yeah, I got it on screen. I got it on. I was recording when it happened. This was.
I don't have audio, but I see it.
You just never, I never in my fucking life actually thought that they were going to do, that's what they were going to do. It's just like, oh shit, look at that. That'd be really cool if they, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is happening. That's probably like one of my favorite moments I've ever had live. Like, holy shit, I can't believe you're actually doing this. And they did. And I'd argue it was better than Axel and Ian. It fucking went out. No, I know that it was better than Axel and Ian. Yeah, great. Goddamn.
Well, it helps that you don't advertise it.
That's good. That's another thing. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, that's so random and insane. Like, how is this happening in front of my face right now? Excellent stuff. And of course, like the rest of the matches are bonkers. But Mariah May now and WWE now gonna be the centerpiece of their fucking NXT women's division. And I'm sure when she comes up to SmackDown, she'll have matches with, Tiffany Stratton. And I don't know that I can think of anything that I'd be like excited for. Like, yeah, I can't wait to see Mariah May versus I don't fucking know. Honestly. Mariah's matches that weren't with Toni Storm were like, give or take. Do you want to
see Mariah May versus Julia on a big stage?
Some were better than others. Julia came fucking work with a broomstick. I mean, I just mean like Mariah May. Like, I'm thinking like the Mariah May based like matches, and they're all like, put it with a blonde girl. Like I put it with Charlotte or Tiffany.
I enjoy watching Tiffany work, so that's not really a problem for me.
I like Tiffany. I'm trying to think of like real dream match. I guess I don't I don't have any.
I don't think dream matches are a thing I'm thinking about at this point.
Try to have fun. I guess that's a big word for it, but just matches I would like to see. There's always matches I would like to see. I can't think of any.
I wouldn't mind seeing Vakura, but like I think that writes itself.
Yeah, but yeah, she'll be down there for a while.
Those are two people that I think would put on a very good match.
We'll see what her name
Jordan
is.
Grace might too.
Jordan Grace gonna bring her ass up to SmackDown. She'll work. She'll have her matches with Chelsea Green, Zelina Vega. The other day I realized what I was watching Zelina Vega, and she shits the bed on that 619, and she tries to make up for it, and she just kicking Chelsea Green in the face and breaking her nose, and I was like,
"Oh, did she?"
Yeah, she did. It was fucking. It was bad. It was rough. You break your nose on something that looks like shit. It's the worst. No. That's the worst. So I started thinking like, damn, I've always remember liking Zelina Vega, but like, I don't know if I ever thought she was a good wrestler. It's just thinking back, like, wait a minute. No, I don't have any Zelina Vega matches in my lexicon that I would just pull out right now. Like, well, there's this one.
I only saw her in WWE. Like, I didn't watch any of the Dollhouse stuff.
Yeah, the Trinidad. I forgot her fucking name.
Thea Trinidad, yeah.
Thea Trinidad. There you go. I was gonna say Trina Trinidad.
was she in Dollhouse with Mia Yim?
Yep. Yeah. Wasn't she?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, and I didn't watch any of that stuff.
Yeah, and I know that she came in. I knew her name when she came in. That's why I gaslit myself into thinking she was probably a wrestler from that. She's just as good as everybody else then, right? No. So it's all good.
Why not? Yeah.
She's got the U.S. title still, and still don't know why, or actually do know why, but I don't want to be demeaning. That's really mean. It is what it is. It's an opinion.
Who's going up to SmackDown?
Jordan Grace is going to SmackDown. Julia is also on SmackDown. Stephanie Vaquer is on,
on
Raw.
Raw.
Charlotte is already leaving comments all over Mariah's page. Oh yeah, no, it's fucking. She's gonna open her hands to this one. She's gonna find a little blonde protege. I like you. You come. You're my child. I couldn't get the
Nah.
Tiffany, but I want you.
I'm not saying it applies to everyone in this situation, but when I think of Charlotte Flair trying to open her hand out to Mariah May, there is a line that is said amongst black folk that is very real to me in this situation, which is not all skin folk are kinfolk.
Gotta watch Sinners.
They just put it out on digital, so I probably will get around to that
It's time.
because I wasn't leaving my house.
Okay, Martin Scorsese.
I did read that. That was funny.
The cell phones. Too many cell phones.
I that's such a weird thing, but like you're an 82-year-old man. I don't give a shit what you think.
I think he's lying, but that's okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, what the fuck? Come on, bullshit. Nobody fucking using their phones with all the movies on. Fuck you.
I don't. Maybe it's an LA thing. I don't know. I did read that and think that was not my experience, but
I was like nobody. I've never seen that in my life. Like people talk about this all the time, but unless you're talking about like the chicken jockey thing, like is that what you're basing all movie experiences?
Did you say
on? Like,
chicken jockey?
That's the big thing. It was people recording each other doing stupid shit in the theater. But like other than that, I don't go to the theater and I don't fucking see people use their cell phone. Generally,
I don't
they
think
kick
I've ever
you
heard
out.
that term.
Okay, Greg. Now you're a little too removed. You got to come back. Come back.
Chicken jockey?
We need you on the pop culture finger. We need your finger on the pulse.
Stupid.
It's okay. You missed it. It's good that you missed it. The Jack Black thing. But yeah, beyond that,
from
Minecraft? Yeah, it was from Minecraft. People were in the theaters. They would react every time that stupid scene came on. They would react like Captain America just caught the Thor's hammer. It was ironic. It was ironic. Very funny. It was because it wasn't a moment of any importance. That's what made it so funny. And then people took it overboard. They were bringing like real chickens to the theater. It was fucking great.
It got that bad?
Yeah. But Martin Scorsese, was he going to watch Minecraft?
I hope not.
So like, shut up, Martin. Oh, there's too many cell phones. Shut the fuck up. You just old.
I won't say it's undeserved, but it reminds me of when I did the marathon for Infinity War, and it was just kind of beautiful that like there was literally a moment of applause for every time Stan Lee came up on screen.
That's cool.
And then like somebody had to get up and tell people just like, okay, guys, we've had a lot of fun with the Stan Lee thing. Infinity War starting. Let's not do that.
What a piece of shit. I would have clapped anyway.
Because nobody wanted to get like applauded over fucking important dialogue.
Yeah, the important dialogue where Stan Lee says peace. He says that's his biggest line.
People don't stop. We didn't know that at the time. Infinity War hadn't started.
Boy, it's a Stan Lee Stoner reference. Let's go.
Well, we didn't know that at the time because that was the premiere.
I know. That's but yeah, no. We came back to what we had written. There's a couple more things we did have to talk about. WWE Money in the Bank is this weekend. It's a very fucking small card, 4 matches.
And also the sequel to When Worlds Collide.
Yeah, When Worlds Collide earlier in the afternoon. Pull that up too.
I like just referring to it as a sequel because it's actually AAA again.
When Worlds Collide 2. So,
you ready to go?
Oh shit, Lindsay Dorado.
Is he on the card?
He's on the card. He got
Good for him.
That's cool. How the fuck did he get on here? Who does he work for? Like, did he get called back to WWE? Is he signed to WWE?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, he's a coach. Oh no. I think he got. Let me see. He got fired 2025. Yeah, on January 17th, 2025, he
Also, very
was
recently.
brought back. He did an NXT live event and he wrestled one of the young boys. Yeah, and he's
Hey.
he works there. So he's on this card replacing Joaquin Wild, old DJZ, who caught a concussion
He did get hurt, didn't he?
during WWE Speed.
Yeah,
On
I saw a clip
Monday.
where he was like laid out in the ring and people were kind
He's
of
knocked out.
yeah.
It says first time he's ever been knocked out. It's gonna be Lindsay
As long as
Dorado,
he's vessel, that's someone impressive.
right? It's gonna be Lindsay Dorado, Dragon Lee, and Cruz Del Toro versus Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana in a 6-man tag match. I have a sneaking suspicion that is going to be one of the better matches on the show.
Yeah.
Just because everybody involved and they want to show off their skill to the new WWE fans that had never seen AAA. So Aerostar is going to do some sick Aerostar shit, and you got
I do
fucking
like
Dragon
Aerostar,
Lee in
which
there.
just says a lot for me as who's not a lucha person.
These are good people in here. I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be very fun. You also have which I don't know. I think this might be the main event. Legado de Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown.
As I call him for short, Wagner 3G.
Wagner 3G. That'd be much easier than El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yes, it's also his Twitter name, so he knows it's easier.
And that does seem like, I mean, you hear like Legado de Fantasma as a WWE fan, and you think that's gonna be the main event? No way. But like Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown are like 3 of the biggest guys in AAA. Like that's like fucking putting whoever you think the 3 biggest WWE guys are, the second tier who aren't the champion right now.
Although Dr. Wagner Jr. in this particular situation is very funny.
Oh, being involved with Pagano and Psycho Clown?
Being involved with AAA, who he had taken a deal for instead of WWE, only to end up here.
Yeah, only to end up contracted there anyway. They were like, no, I think AAA would be better for his development right now. He gets to do okay. Never mind.
Yeah, and as per my lucha friend, there was also some sort of like, there was the idea that he was sort of coaxed into it by family because he'd get to keep the mask.
Well, that's a big deal. You go to WWE, they want to take that shit off you. They think you look pretty. They did it to everybody. And then they lose his whole crew. No. Fucking, but yeah, DJZ designed the first ROH logo. That's right, he did.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, so you also got Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice teaming up against Chic Tormenta and Dallas. That's going to be good. I've never seen Chic Tormenta or Dallas before.
Are those the women that have been messing with Vaquer?
Yeah. Yeah, they I think they cost her the championship. Or maybe somebody did. I don't fucking watch NXT. We got Ethan Page versus Javon Evans.
I don't go here.
Never. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix. Probably the fucking dark horse to steal the entire show. Because look, everybody here's got something to prove.
There's no world where I think Ethan Page is in the dark horse match.
Ethan Page is gonna roll his ass out the way and let the wrestlers work. No, let the luchas lucha. Get your fucking plain ass out of here.
But John, look at this twist of fate.
Nah, man, get his ass out of here. He can catch wrestlers. That's what he's here to be, a base. That's why he's here. Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix are gonna flip circles around this motherfucker, and it's gonna be excellent. Good for Javon in this spot right here.
And then Ricky Starks is gonna get involved. No.
Ray Phoenix is an interesting case because Penta came to WWE and he took off immediately. Ray Phoenix has been a little bit. They gave him the WrestleMania match off the bat. He lost, but it was WrestleMania. You know,
He saved it.
So like that's a big thing. But ever since then, the way he's been used on WWE TV is kind of like a cog in a machine, and
Sure.
whereas Penta's gotten like a dedicated push. Like you can tell that one's being pushed. Like this one just exists, and that one's being pushed.
I get what you mean.
So with him on this World's End show, it makes a lot of sense because luchador. There's luchadors here, but it was there was nothing made of his involvement. It was almost like this is what's expected of Rey Fenix to be challenging for the NXT championship, showing up on NXT. He just got here, isn't it? Isn't the perception to new fans that the wrestler who just got here is already working at NXT might actually belong down there? Don't you want to not confuse them? Like, don't you want it to be? I don't know. It's strange. You would think maybe Penta would be on this show, but no, he's not. He's in the Money in the Bank. My boy's on the big. He's on the big pay-per-view. Yeah. He's on the big TV one. So I don't know.
Meanwhile, and I will not mince words about this idea. Meanwhile, Chad Gable's working twice.
Bro, we're going to talk about that right now because this is irking me to no end.
Go for it.
Gave Chad Gable a luchador gimmick. He's a luchador now. He's a fake luchador. He's got two personalities. He's Chad Gable and he's a luchador. And the luchador is not the one who works the lucha show. The lucha show. He's working the lucha show as his plain self, and he's being a luchador on the American show. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why the fuck isn't El Grande Americano on the AAA show? That is
already got into Money in the Bank.
That's the whole. No, he didn't. He got into Money in the Bank after. He got into Money in the Bank because he got two shots at it because he was two people. He lost his first shot and then he won the second one. After they already booked this match for Chad Gable. Why the fuck is Chad Gable the one who has the AAA match and not El Grande Americano? That's the whole thing. He's a fucking luchador. He's wrestling for the AAA Mega Championship.
I mean, I guess I'd rather them just beat the obvious white guy instead of the guy we're pretending isn't the white guy.
Nobody's actually pretending that though. Like it's not.
Some of them are.
No, that's not real. Like that's the in canon. Everybody knows it's Chad Gable.
I'm talking about in canon. Yeah.
Yeah, like in canon, everybody knows it's Chad Gable. They know it's him, and they're like, "Why are you saying this?" And he keeps trying to gaslight people, and for some reason, the company gave him two opportunities. This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because the company is stupid.
like Michael Cole says.
What I mean by the company pretending it is actually two different people.
That's what I mean. So if it's actually two different people, then why didn't the company put the luchador on the lucha show? Like, even in kayfabe, it doesn't make any fucking sense. In real life, it's baffling. It's baffling me. There has to be a story reason. I refuse to believe we went through all this trouble to get this fucking stupid luchador shit over, and he's got all this beef with luchadors, and we've been doing all this thing with mask stuff, and I'm sure he's gonna lose a mask versus mask match at some point.
Because at the end of the day, the fucking Grande Americano is the main roster gimmick.
This is a WWE branded show with WWE main roster wrestlers on it.
On an NXT branded event.
No more. It's a full on WWE branded WWE AAA crossover
that shit, but then you had the whole conversation about Fenix.
But then they put because Fenix was actually like on NXT, like on the fucking NXT show, and actually challenging for an NXT belt. But like Legado de Fantasma were on SmackDown, like we're gonna go to Mexico because we have to prove ourselves, and like it's a full-on fucking WWE main roster thing tied into the show, and they changed the branding, and then Chad Gable gets a shot at the AAA Mega Championship, which because he got into beef with fucking Vikingo on Raw. They could have done that with the mask dude. Again, we'll see how this plays out. Maybe there's some other thing involved, but if they just go this whole weekend and it's straight up just Chad Gable on the Lucha show and the Lucha guy on the main roster show, that's never gonna not bother me. It's never gonna not bother me. If the fake luchador never works a AAA show, Are you fucking
Wouldn't
kidding
be surprised
me?
if it happened that way.
That
would not be surprised.
That would be absolutely.
I'm also just
blind.
annoyed that the whole gimmicks lasted this long.
I love it. I have no problem with him acting like a
Because it
luchador.
felt like it was going somewhere, and now it's just been he does this stupid thing.
I thought he was gonna go to a fucking AAA show even before they bought AAA.
Before
Before they bought AAA,
like that.
it was rumored, like it was full on rumored, like he was gonna work with AAA. They were gonna do something, and of course, it turns out they were just gonna eat the whole company. But they it was like when he left, when he said he was gonna go learn the dark arts of lucha, there was like a full rumor that he was gonna show up at AAA.
I never heard any of that stuff then.
And I was like, what the fuck? That would be perfect. He's got beef with luchadors. He should go to an actual lucha company and learn it and then come back. Of course, they do the thing where he fakes it.
So
But
that
he's actually good?
You're operating on a completely old expectation that I did not have.
No fucking expectations. Greg, no. You can divorce yourself from this
that story,
all
so I
you
never
want.
had
No.
didn't hear
Beyond that.
story, so I never
If
had
none
that
of this
expectation.
exists, if none of this stuff exists, no, you don't have to know nothing. We're going to go by what is being presented on television. There is a
I'd rather
white
see the
man.
white guy.
There is a white man who has
I'd
issues
rather
with
just see
all
Chad
the Mexicans.
Gable.
No, this is the story that they've done already. You can what we rather see what we expect.
Chad Gable has
I'm
issues
going to
with the
present.
Mexicans.
I'm going to present what they gave me, and then I'm going to question why I shouldn't expect this because you've set expectations when you do certain things in a story on television. You create expectations. This man has trouble with all the luchadors. He goes out.
Chad Gable
He
has trouble
gets
with
himself.
luchadors.
He gets himself a mask. He legitimately, obviously, in real life, he already had the skill to do this. But in kayfabe, he is legitimately now able to be a luchador. He can full fucking work lucha style. This motherfucker did a backwards 450 moonsault splash that I never seen in my life. Actually, did you see WrestleMania? I had never seen that fucking move before.
It's just a 2-chord Scorpio move.
Fuck you. I never seen Chad Gable do that shit. It was not a double. It was not a reversed. It was not the double moonsault, which is one thing.
No, the leg drop.
It was not the leg drop. It was a
It's
fucking
the same
back.
thing. It's just flat back.
That's a whole other thing. That's
Yes,
a
it is.
back-
It's just a back flip.
That's a whole other thing.
It's just a back flip.
That's a whole other thing. It's not just a back. You got a flat back
It's
anyway.
the same. It's the
This-
same
this
thing
guy-
as the 2-chord Scorpio move.
The point is that he had been working a fucking grappler wrestler style, and then he has a whole other style under the mask. You've already created now a second character that is a luchador in the story where everybody knows it's Chad Gable. It's not being presented like Santino and Santina, who I think are actually two different
They've
people.
actually put them in two different. They put them both on screen.
Yeah,
at the same
and then
time.
every week Michael Cole says this is fucking Chad Gable, and then Pat
Of course,
McAfee
Michael
goes,
Cole
"Shut
doesn't
up."
believe the heel.
That's the idea. This story that Michael
But they
Cole
did
is
put them
telling us.
both on screen at the same
We're
time.
not supposed to believe that that's another person. That is Chad Gable, and it's obviously Chad Gable, and he always has the fucking same tattoo in his neck. And he's always the same build. And last week he wore the same
Sure.
boots, and they had to claim that he lent it to him. This is a very obvious gaslighting attempt that there is a white man masquerading as a luchador and causing trouble with all the luchadors in the company.
But
and
they
then the company-
masqueraded for this long that they are two different people.
No,
they
fuck you.
booked
That's
them as two
not
different
real.
people.
There's no word.
Because
Greg, get out of
who's
here.
booking the show?
You are obnoxious.
booking the show.
No, this is dumb. No, there's no world where that doesn't work.
Thing's
Where it's
dumb.
like, this is dumb. They gave you a fake luchador. They have a lucha event coming up for the first time ever, and the luchador isn't on it. There's no fucking world where that makes sense. He's a
booking
lucha.
the show? Who's booking this man? It's two different people.
Them. It's them. It's all of them. It's always them. They write all of this. They could have put the luchador on the lucha show.
Not off screen, John. Who is booking Chad Gable as two different people and believing that? They don't
Nobody.
believe it.
Fucking Adam Pearce is known to be is on screen a bad GM. They call him bad. They
So
call
the
it,
company is bad, man. So nothing is really surprising.
except that it doesn't make sense in real life that they really created a luchador character and
The
really
whole
didn't
company-
use him on the lucha
The
show.
whole company
This is
doesn't
dumb.
make sense in real life.
No, you can't dismiss it like that. That doesn't make it okay.
You just
It still
did.
doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Just because other things don't make sense don't mean this has to be stupid.
That's
got
usually how that goes. Shit
They
rolls
got the
downhill.
Lucha guy in the ladder match the same night. Fuck you. I don't know who thought that was funny. As a matter of fact, it messes with my
Because he's
OCD.
probably gonna win the briefcase.
That doesn't change why he wasn't on the Lucha show. There's several people working. Like Stephanie Vaquer is working twice. So is he. So is he. He's not a different person. He is still the fucking same guy.
They book him like two different people.
No, they're not booking him like two different people. They're booking him
They
like one
just did.
asshole who is
They
cheating the
just did.
system. He is
He just
cheating.
did.
He is signing paperwork. He is committing fraud. There is fraud happening here. Somebody is signing up for 2 sheets. He's getting paid twice. Call the fucking cops.
Somebody in the company is complicit because they keep booking him.
Call the fucking police. Anyway, finally.
You have to take that into account that somebody in the company is just as complicit.
People are sick. Down the street from this event, we get the Inuit Dome with the larger
Beautiful
WWE
place.
pay-per-view. It's pretty. It's very pretty on the inside. On the outside too, I think I'm looking at a picture of it on Wikipedia. It's very futuristic
Yeah.
looking, very glass, and it is shaped like a squished egg. It's fun, but we got a 4-match card so far. We still got
Trying to think
SmackDown
of where
on
I
Friday.
heard about the building. It's it was freaking Baby Metal announcing they were running the Inuit Dome. I was like, damn.
They did this place for Monday Night Raw's debut on Netflix. They had a lot of
yes.
They had a lot of cool things integrated that we never saw again. And I don't think
UFC used it shortly after and did the same
we're gonna see that shit for this pay per
because
view.
they use the halo a lot.
That does make it look cool. That when they pull back and they got the giant halo up there, it makes it feel like a big event, like a really
Yes.
big deal.
And all the lights on the chairs.
That is that's also cool, especially with WWE because they can sync it up with the entrances and shit. But we have 4 matches, like I said. The big main event: Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. I look at this match, and I'm like, this stinks. That sucks. The only thing I'm interested in seeing is whether both world champions being in the main event of the Money in the Bank show factors in to the contract. As far as I know, Triple H doesn't like Triple H is not a fan of this concept.
The briefcase?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, Damian Priest got an extended briefcase run, right? He had the briefcase. It was purple. Cashed it in
He
at
had it all the way
WrestleMania.
into WrestleMania. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna do that again. I don't think he's gonna do that again right now.
Stratton didn't take that long, did she?
No, she held it. Yeah, because she got a purse. She held it for like 3 months, 4 months, and then she cashed in on Nia Jax.
Yeah, which we're all just waiting to happen.
Yeah. Looking at the guys in this match, Money in the Bank, we got Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, El Grande Americano.
I'm disappointed Dominic's not in it.
I know. I'm not on this card at all. And they were teasing like Dominic versus AJ Styles, who we will talk about in a second.
Okay.
But yeah. So out of these guys, if Seth Rollins was to win that Money in the Bank contract, I would not be surprised if we ended the night with him as champion. Because they have the Gunther match the next night, and they have been building towards Jey Uso versus Gunther, and that's always like, but they have been building towards, but that was the red herring. That was the red herring. It was actually going to be Seth Rollins versus Gunther. You know how that goes. There's no guarantee that just because Jey Uso and Gunther had a segment together means that's the match. They like swerves. And if it doesn't factor in, then, we'll get a regular ass tag match between these 4 gentlemen, and I'm sure it'll be Honestly, I don't know. I can't. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. I don't know what value I take from this match. I hope that I hope that you like real big WWE fans are just glad seeing your favorite superstars in the ring together. I guess I'm trying not to like shit on this thing. Try to be objective. It's a big main event with big stars. I just don't care. You know, like it's fine.
Well, you're not exactly emotionally invested in anyone in here, so.
But I want to see John Cena. I'm not
You
gonna
want to see a version
anymore
of John Cena that you didn't get.
He's fine. Like I don't hate this. I just think it sucks. It's generic. It's what it is. It's like I expected more because he's John Cena, but it's just a regular thing.
I didn't expect more the moment he hit that first promo. I was like, oh, this is what it's gonna be.
I thought that was just gonna be the first promo. I didn't think that was gonna be every promo.
There was nowhere you could really go after that promo. You laid
like
it all out.
Once you establish that, then you can be diabolical. Like, okay, this is the reason why, and now I'm gonna go be a piece of trash. But
he can be for the few dates he shows up.
He should be. Be worse.
But he's on his limited dates.
He should be worse because he's gonna be here less. But I do appreciate
what's your
seeing
definition of worse? Like, do you want more?
I want him to do bad things, really bad things, Greg. I don't just want him to be mad. I want him to be a bad person. I want to be ashamed of John Cena. I want to say, I can't believe he was my hero. No,
I think that's what the portrayal is for.
That sucks. No, I think it's I still appreciate seeing him. You're never gonna like I'm still every time he's on screen, I'm very aware that there's a certain number of days left. And when that last one hits, you are not gonna catch me standing there acting all sad and shit after I spent a year saying how much I didn't want to see him. Because that's what's gonna happen with a lot of people talking about how much they don't want to see John Cena. It's like that is not the case, sir. I love John Cena. And we're never going to see his ass again. So appreciate it as we have it. But this match right here is a waste of my fucking time and his. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing with his precious time. He's teaming with Logan Paul. This is who we're giving the rub to. Okay. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay. But yeah, that's the main
I don't know. I don't know what we would have done here, honestly. But like, again, the only thing I cared about with this last one was the John Cena nostalgia tour, and that's what we're getting.
Not even. We will, I guess, soon.
We have been.
Is this nostalgic to you? I don't feel the nostalgia unless I look at him and I force myself to remember other times.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I don't like this booking is like a holdover, but I don't know what you would have done for Money in the Bank. I laid out my idea, but they're saving it until later.
The obvious,
they said outright they're saving that until later. That was the report.
I know. So this was the alternative. Was this? I guess there was originally.
I don't know what the other alternatives are because the other guys are gone.
There was a plan for this match to involve Travis Scott, and Jimmy Uso, and it would have been a trios match. And at that point, that would have made sense. Get Travis Scott involved. But if you didn't have Travis, he lost him, so they just kept the Logan Paul and the Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso because they had been tag champions in the past. So it's not like it's missing a piece. No, it just doesn't have the same. It's just like
and then you'd have to reshuffle Logan Paul and Jey Uso.
They could just have their Saturday night's main event match now or tomorrow. That would have been fine. Cody Rhodes wasn't even in it. Now that I'm thinking about it, with Cody Rhodes involved with John Cena here right now, is he angling? Like, is that a rematch coming now? When would that be?
SummerSlam.
Oof. Yeah, shit. Have fun with that. Have fun with that.
Because if we're angling like again, obviously the obvious other big nostalgia match is the CM Punk bout, and if we're angling not to do that until sometime after SummerSlam, because the rumor is that they're angling for another Punk Rollins match
Oh boy. All right. I mean, I
at
guess
SummerSlam, then yeah, that's what you either do. You
that
do
sucks.
Cena and Cody again at SummerSlam as a WrestleMania rematch, or I don't know. A lot of the guys on the John Cena Nostalgia Tour are retired or not with the
What the
company.
fuck are we doing? Like this is he's working with Logan Paul right now. All right. And we still didn't do the Gunther match. Okay, get the fuck out of my face. I hate you motherfuckers. I hate all you motherfuckers. I hate this company.
Ah,
Bad
did
thing
not
says
see that.
that's cool. I don't care what they call themselves. They're only teaming once. And they'll never do it again. Create some fucking one night only merchandise. You know, some shit there that you can only buy now. That's fine. I don't care about that. I'm just thinking like there. I don't care to see this. This is a waste of a date. This is a Monday Night Raw match. We could have done this on a Raw instead of coming out and cutting that same you people
Maybe
promo.
that's why the show's called Money in the Bank.
The Money in the Bank because they know that shit is there and they don't have to put no damn effort in. I hate you. No.
Have you seen some of these Royal Rumble pay-per-views?
But I guess this
So
match will
PLEs,
have
yeah.
this match will have some shenanigans at the end. I'm sure, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure some Money in the Banks related stuff.
I
We've
mean,
also-
listen, if your cash in theory holds weight, then the entire booking comes together.
It does because it's the only thing that makes sense if in that context. But I've seen WWE just plow through conventional thinking a lot. They just tend to do that. That's why El Grande Americano is on this show. And not on
I mean, if it's,
Saturday.
I don't know if it's the
Like, why is it the main
conventional
event on a show? It's a show called Money, and I hate when that happens. They've done it in the past. They always
they've
do
done
this.
it.
honestly.
They've done it plenty of times.
I
Royal
hate-
Rumble is
I
not always the main
hate it.
event.
I hate that shit. That makes my
We've
dick
seen.
so
I
soft.
think we've seen multiple Hell in the Cells where the
Softest.
Hell in the Cell is not the main event.
The softest dick. If it's a match that is not able to main event in a Hell in a Cell, why is it in the cell? Get it out of there.
Sure.
What are we doing? what I
I
mean.
think. Have they done it with Chamber?
Yeah, they have.
Okay.
Rock. What was the year that The Rock wrestled at Elimination Chamber?
Is that when he beat Punk?
No, because he beat Punk at the Royal Rumble.
Did they rematch?
They did rematch, didn't they? They rematched,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He fucking loses.
So was that it? Did they rematch
Oh, and then
at
now,
Chamber
and then
Over the
this
Main?
year he main evented Elimination Chamber with a segment.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I
Jesus.
guess that's true.
2013, Max says. Yeah. It would have been 2013.
With Punk and Rock?
Yep. Punk and
Okay,
Rock
yeah.
rematch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's not a surprise. I was just like, ugh, this makes my dick soft. And honestly, sometimes when these non-title rematches, like, oh, but the champions are in it. Like, that is straight up some B show shit. I hate it. But the champions are in it. It's a tag match. Get your 1980s
John,
WWF
if I can get you to
superstars
go-
ass out of here.
John, if I can get you to go through it, you are gonna be so annoyed with the occasional time that fucking ECW ends a pay-per-view with a 6-man tag.
Kill me. Actually kill me. Now we know, because that's how you know. Like, oh, this is we're on cruise control today. Yeah. We got the tag match main event on a 4-match card. These motherfuckers are bold, Greg.
No, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, quick aside. So yes, John. It's November to remember. Taz just left. We just put the belt on Mike Awesome. John, Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka is in the middle of the card.
And we're closing this with a fucking trios
And the
match.
fucking main event is the Impact Players and Rhino versus Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman, and I forgot who they were tagging with.
Yeah, I bet you did. I would need.
I I think it was Raven. I think it was Raven because they were doing the Raven and Dreamer thing.
You leave.
It
you
was
leave
Raven
the
Dreamer
building.
and the Sandman versus Rhino and the Impact Players. That was the main.
Leave the building. That reminds me of Cornette booking the fucking Jiu-Jitsu main event of Ring of Honor's 10th anniversary show and putting Kevin Steen and Jimmy Jacobs in a street fight on before it. They immediately put me to sleep. But yeah, no, we'll
What's the
see.
Jiu-Jitsu main event?
It was Davey Richards and Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole and Eddie Edwards.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was the most fucking boring possible match you could have put on after that fucking street fight, bloody spike to the head shit they just did. These motherfuckers slow pacing, fake shooting. I was like, I can't do this right now. I hate you. It's not even a world title match. It's a tag team match. Ah! Oh, God. Anyway. Yeah, Money in the Bank 2025. We also have Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. If Becky Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Valkyria is champion. If Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Becky Lynch's hand and acknowledge Becky as the better woman.
I
Classic,
can no longer challenge for this mid-card.
classic pro wrestling trope. This has been a very clear case of Lyra Valkyria is missing something. Becky Lynch believes in Lyra. Becky Lynch wants to work with her to bring it out of her. Shit. She's been talking more. That's for sure.
She's been doing a thing that resembles talking.
I don't know. I don't see it as like a big improvement. I'm sorry. It's fine.
I don't either.
I think it's fine. It's not like they're trying to sell it as though she's more aggressive now and she's like got a new side of her, but it's not coming across. It isn't. And even in the quote unquote angry promos, it's like very soft spoken. Like, you might think that I've been different lately, Becky. It's because I'm angry. And I was like, she doesn't sound it. She sounds very soothing, actually. I think you say I would like a hug from that woman, actually.
John is just playing the promos as sleep sounds.
She's like, no one has hurt me as bad as you have, Becky. And I was like, damn, you could scream or you could cry or something. I don't fucking know. We could put a little more effort into that, but not everybody's able to emote that way on demand, especially in front of all these people and thinking about what you have to say next and having to follow that fucking script, that horrible fucking script. Max says he loves Bird Person. I do love the Bird Lady. I think she's a great wrestler. I just think she was a little undercooked.
I've never been particularly impressed by her in anything.
I like her wrestling. She was in NXT. She was having actual like competitive matches with like Roxy, and she did one. I want to say she did one. Who was the bigger? Was it Becky Lynch? It was Becky Lynch. Did she have a Becky Lynch match on NXT?
Yes,
it was.
She took the belt from Becky.
Yeah. It was pretty good. I remember that. And up here she had a really good match with Bayley. She had one with Dakota Kai before she left. That was like the best match she had as Intercontinental Champion. But it was always that she couldn't put real personality behind the WWE script they gave her, so it just comes across really generic. And I don't know that Becky Lynch succeeded in pulling out something out of here.
Woo!
She was undefeated in NXT UK for a year. I didn't know that.
Of course you didn't. It was NXT UK.
I didn't watch that shit. I watched Gunther and
Ilya
a couple times. The silent one was ironically better, but only because it's them. Because they were beating each other so bad that the sounds of their violence was actually really cool.
Yeah.
But other than that,
it's like I was telling our guy Dan about like COVID baseball. Like COVID baseball was really weird, but the sounds of the bats with nobody in the stadium were amazing.
It was during the
And that was
pandemic.
the only thing good about it,
Lyra was champion during the pandemic, so I definitely
which is even worse.
double not watch that. And then finally, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match: Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, Stephanie Vaquero. Listen,
My head says it should be Naomi, but maybe not.
if they had any balls, if you had a dick big enough
With balls.
with balls that are proportionally large, you would give Stephanie Vaquero a contract, and then you would push her for a fucking year. Like, the contract literally just exists as your plot device. Put it in her pocket, and don't do the Vince thing. Don't do the Vince thing. They like to do the contract, and then you lose because it's a surprise when you win.
Sure.
No. Waste this fucking thing. Whatever this stupid. It doesn't matter. Fucking briefcase. Waste this shit. Give it to Stephanie Vaquero. Push her as if she was going to be in the position you're going to put her in anyway, and then have her babyface Rob Van Dam cash that shit in for WrestleMania. Easiest goddamn 8 months you had. I've given them right to you in your hand. You've got a megastar here. Don't waste time. Why are we wasting time?
I'd argue if she was going to be that good for that long,
yes,
she'd have already earned a title shot.
No, she just got here yesterday. This is she worked her first match on the main roster and earned
the Machine
this.
Guns won the belt within weeks.
That's stupid though. They're a tag team. Triple H they don't care about tag teams. I told you on day one. It didn't fucking matter.
Who was the other girl who showed up and got the belt immediately?
No. I remember saying specifically with the tag team championships, they are lying to you all. And people were like, oh, look, they got the main event. It's going to be a new day for the tag division. And I said, you're fucking dumb. Watch.
What main event are we talking about?
I can't remember what it was. Johnny Gargano.
It's not WrestleMania, is it?
No, it was before WrestleMania. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa won the tag titles, and it felt like a big deal. It was in like Cleveland or some shit. Yeah,
it was in Cleveland.
It was in Cleveland, and they ended SmackDown with pyro.
It's like Johnny Gargano's hometown, isn't it?
And all this shit. Yeah. And then people were like, "Oh wow, look, this is Triple H cares about tag team wrestling." He fucking doesn't. They get to do this shit.
Cares about putting Gargano over in his hometown.
You know when was the next time the tag teams had a highlight? When they did the damn TLC match and they all fucking killed each other. Like, that was a year later. That's when they'll get spotlight, when they need them to do something like that. The women get a little more care taken of them. Stephanie comes up here, she wins, immediately goes into the ladder match. There's no reason why she can't earn. There's no reason why. There's no story reason that doesn't make sense as to why she can't just be this good and have that. I won. I'm holding on to it. Is she gonna cash? You don't even need that stupid tension. I guess you could always once in a while tease it just because it's there and it creates good situations. You can always do things. But damn, give it to the prospect. Babyface cash that shit in at WrestleMania and watch 86,000 people chant Booker T's Gooner chants when Stephanie bounces her ass cheeks in the middle of the fucking ring and then wins the fucking title.
I just feel like, I feel like we could accomplish all that without the briefcase and then put the briefcase on something interesting.
That is interesting. Because look at the other fuck. Look at the other, like, fuck. What the fuck else is here? We could get Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez. Woman. Who, Naomi?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. We already did this.
She's got something much fresher, much more interesting going on.
I guess, because now she can say, caution, I have the suitcase. Fuck you, Greg. How dare you? No.
It's a much more interesting angle for the briefcase.
Hell no. Your briefcase is going to have horns. I want the briefcase to have horns.
I don't give a shit about the briefcase having horns.
Yeah, you want to wrap it in tape.
I don't want to do anything with the briefcase.
No, you got to do something with the briefcase. It doesn't work if you don't make it fun. Tiffy had a purse.
It worked for years without doing anything.
That's not true. Greg, Edge is the one who had a black briefcase. Edge. Everybody else made sure. Rob Van Dam the very next year went and got his shit tricked the fuck out. He was carrying a big ass, stupid ass tie-dye briefcase. It was ugly as fuck, but
What's it tie-dye?
it was fucking tie-dye. It was like green and blue. Look that shit up. He had a tie-dye briefcase that he cashed
It
in.
was designed like one of his gears.
Exactly. Tie-dye,
It wasn't
high.
That's not. That's not.
I'm fine as fucking.
It's not tie-dye.
I'm gonna find this goddamn briefcase. That shit was tied. It was fucking blue and green at least. But on year 2, they were already doing the damn customization. It was almost tie-dye. They were going for a tie-dye effect. You kill it. Yeah, they spray painted that thing.
Yeah, because that's how he gets his stuff airbrushed.
It was cool. Who else? Brock, Mr. Kennedy, Edge. Even the second time had a damn logo on it. Punk had his logo on it. They always trick the thing out. I think Sandow had like a leather one.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He had some sort of thing with it.
That was funny. It made sense. Although,
But the last couple of years, they've just been like when Miz had it, it was just the red one.
Yeah, Damian Priest got one that was purple. Said Senor.
Yes, it did. They didn't change the design for Dolph Ziggler.
That's so petty because they knew. Because now knowing what we know
They
about
didn't
him,
change the design for Seth. He had the gold one.
he did have the gold one and kept it. Oh, and the thing with his was that it would get progressively more and more fucked up. Yeah.
And the last couple of years, they've just had like the red one and the white one for
Yeah,
the men and the
yeah.
women.
But those no man, Tiffany had a purse. I'm telling you, Tiffany had a purse.
Carmella didn't. Carmella had the regular briefcase.
Carmella had James M. Ellsworth. That was
James Ellsworth is not a briefcase, John.
do we know that for sure?
Jesus, that is a man. He married a woman.
So you say. So you say. Because last I heard.
No, John.
But that's WWE's Money in the
really
Bank.
good, man. But Jesus Christ.
May not. Anyway, that's the Money in the Bank card for now. Maybe they'll add a match or two on SmackDown. We'll see. I think maybe one match. I've never seen them do a 4-match card. So you telling me they're gonna have 2 hours of commercials? That doesn't surprise me.
We gotta do the ads and the videos for the Peacock Plus subscribers.
I like those videos.
I do too.
They're doing one for Omega and Okada next week, and I was like, "Well, that's interesting," but I don't know that you had to tell us. I'm not sure that was something we needed to know a week in advance. I was like, "Okay." I think what for some reason one of the commentary like had to make it a point to say like next week Okada and Omega have a contract signing, and we'll be playing a video package before that. And I'm like, why was that a note? Like, why we have to hear that? Okay, thank you. No, that's nice.
They're playing a video package. We just thought you should know. Reasons.
Thanks. Like, is it an expensive one? Like November Rain? They were like, we're main eventing the show with this shit.
Can we please teach Tony Khan that the whole point is to not talk over November Rain?
I know, and then the best part.
God damn it! I think you need to go back and watch some of those.
And you should recap your year. Okay, whatever. It's fine.
Not just the one angle. Which has gone on so long now, you could probably fit it in a whole nother November Rain video.
He could definitely do it. Actually, they should. They should.
No, you could fit it in a song about Texas.
It's you. For some reason, I had a Beyonce song come to my head.
Goddamn Cowboy Carter.
More country than I've ever heard in my life.
No.
We this week we get two anniversaries. They always come back to back of two of the greatest matches to ever happen in the history of this a great sport. And I say this, like I have seen countless wrestling matches because I've seen countless wrestling shows, and each show has at least 5 to 8 matches. And
So many hours.
I figure like thousands upon thousands. So when I have favorite matches or matches that are like all time, there can be like 100 matches that are of such high fucking quality. And I'll be like, damn, that's one. You get
the Hall
noted.
of Great is massive.
You get noted. Because I've watched so much wrestling from around the world, and then I've made it a point to, if I'm not watching, weekly, then I'm curating, and I'm watching so much great wrestling. There's hours and thousands of hours of great wrestling that it really takes something special to crack. Not just to be a favorite or to be one of the best or one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Because I've seen one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. You can be one of several dozens. But these two matches in particular, both of them, sharing anniversaries in almost the same week. Almost. A little bit off. I think it's 6/3 and then 6/9. It's like 6 days off. It can be the same week. It exists within 7 days of each other. But also in real life, like they happen years apart. You know how anniversaries go; they're weird after it happens. Anyway,
Yes.
These two matches have the special place of cracking the top 10. Cracking the top 10. A lot of people. For a lot of people, these are just it. Either one of these. You got June 3rd, 1994, Mitsuharu Misawa versus Toshiaki Kawada. Legendary match, obviously. And then you have June 9th, 1995.
Yeah.
Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi versus Akira Taue and Toshiaki Kawada.
By the way, I'm going to try this right now. You said 6 what?
6/9/1995.
So I always thought it was really funny that you don't have to put any of the names. If you just put, okay, it does kind of work, but this is actually kind of funny. I can put in 6/3/94 and I just get Misawa and Kawada on the YouTube without any other prompt. 6/3/94.
It's there's honestly nothing else on that day. There's no.
So this is funny. This is what I thought was funny, right? I said I'm gonna run this against the same theory, right? I put 6/9/95 on the YouTube. The tag match comes up 4th over some paranormal video and One Life to Live.
One Life to Live. Interesting.
An episode of One Life to Live on 6/9/95.
Listen, that's not even fair. Oh God, that's right. 4 hours next week for Dynamite. They caught me off guard with that shit. I was like, "What? What do you mean next week, too?"
I dozed off during this one.
You son of a bitch! You lied. It wasn't 4 hours of Dynamite. You lied. It was 2 different shows. You made me watch 2 shows. You lied.
Oh, is that how they sold it to you?
Yeah, they fucking said it was a 4-hour event. It's a 4-hour event, and it was just 2 shows. It was 2-hour Dynamite.
It was a 4-hour event.
Yeah, it was a 4-hour event. Like if you were in the arena. Yeah, we got to sit in for a collision taping. You son of a bitch. You tricked me.
Is this because of the finals?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, back to what we're here to talk about.
Apparently not AEW, because that never happened.
No, that didn't happen. Anyway, like I said, for me personally, I've seen a lot of wrestling, and for a long time I had heard about, fucking June 3rd, 1994, but I had always heard about how Kings Row matches are better within the context. Like
Sure.
you can watch it on its own, and you the listener, the viewer, you can go and you should go. And I don't accept you as a fan unless you fucking go and
Jeez.
watch this match. You can watch this out of its context right now, and it will be a blast. You will feel feelings. You will see something. You will feel things. Like, damn, I don't know who that gentleman in the black and yellow was, but holy shit, did he fight his heart out? I certainly wish he would have done it.
Yeah.
You for me, I started the Walk of the King's Road before I got to King Street, before I got to 6394. 6394 was like the end of my first journey, because that was my first goal. That was the first I got to get there.
Mhm.
So I watched from the title unification, the creation of the Triple Crown Championship, and all the way through when the rookies started appearing, the little Misawa, fucking Kobashi, and the Kawada, and the New Generation Army, and all this good stuff. And then you do your research and you find out that Misawa and Kawada have a real life history. And they were in school together. And Misawa started training for wrestling first. And Kawada's always been in his shadow, chasing him, essentially. His tail, if you will. Searching to, striving to surpass him. The New Generation Army, or Kawada and Misawa, they had their tag team history in All Japan. So you've got your on-screen history, you've got your off-screen history. It all blends in so fucking well.
Kawada is arguably like sealing his own fate by unmasking Tiger Mask.
They one of the biggest moments in Japanese wrestling history is when Tiger Mask 2 his fucking tag partner Kawada takes that shit off. He's like, "Get this shit off me!" Essentially,
Who I am.
rips off the persona and just becomes Mitsuharu Misawa himself. And that's
Toshiaki Kawada is complicit in creating the monster.
he created the shadow that he would have to surpass. It's excellent storytelling. Like, people talk about storytelling in wrestling, like there's no like big, backstage segments or whatever. These are just
It's not
events.
soap opera.
These are events that happen that add to the overall lore, and that we can tell these stories of valiant warriors. And like Greg said, Kawada created this monster, and now Kawada's been chasing this monster. And by 6/3/94, they had 3 matches already.
Yeah.
Three straight up singles meetings that were respectful, and to this point, they were still friends. That wouldn't remain the case after, in real life and on screen, but to this point, they were still friends. And so on this third match, Kawada had been defeated each time. But on this fourth match, 6/3/94, Kawada was a fucking demon. He had learned from every mistake he made previously. He had counters for Misawa's biggest moves. He was blocking forearms and elbows that is sometimes not possible. These elbows are like finishing moves. This is not like a fucking elbow you see today. An elbow from Misawa is essentially you can end a match. It has ended matches.
In the immortal words of Joseph Montecillo, Misawa's elbow is God.
And it's so and the audience always reacts to it like it. If Misawa hits an elbow, you go down. You go down. It's not like I can eat 3 of these. If Misawa hits an elbow, you die. That's just the way it works. So Kawada,
to the point where I will say this is a funny attempt to bring back the unpredictability. After multiple 40-minute main event sagas, they had to do a match where fucking Misawa ends it in 6 minutes just to be like, "Hey, we had time."
In particular, not leading up to this, because it wasn't like there was a build. It was just that they had meetings. They would tag, and then they would have a meeting at the carnival because they were in a tournament, or they would have a meeting at the end of a tour because there was another tournament. And Kawada had lost in many different ways. I think the one that I remember the most before this is like a straight. He gets knocked out. It's the weirdest finish.
Yeah. Doesn't he pick him back up and tiger suplex him?
He hits him with the elbow, and he go and Kawada like sells it like his legs go out from under him, and then he dies. And then I think
selling it is doing a lot of work there.
Yeah, I would say selling it, but I swear he actually went down because he goes. Misawa does. It looks like he's waiting to do something else, or he goes to do something else, but the ref is like, no, and he just pins him, and it's just 1, 2, 3, and it's like, oh shit, that happened. And that's the kind of damage Misawa's elbow can do. But we're in this match in Kawada 6-3-94, and ultimately it's 36 minutes. And in these 36 minutes, Misawa would go deep into his bag and he'd pull out the things that he usually did, and they weren't working. Kawada was countering, eating, or kicking out of everything Misawa was giving. Kawada was a demon. This was his night. He had learned every fucking thing he had to. There was no way, except that Misawa had a fucking devil's technique that he hadn't used in 3 years since the first time he used it, which was a fucking accident. So the story goes. The Tiger Driver 91, which we all know now, because Will Ospreay made it famous again, which I honestly I appreciate him for doing that. I love that I can say Tiger Driver 91 now and people know what it is. I love that it's probably going to be in a 2K game sooner than later.
I don't like the way they did it, but
I thought at first I was like, damn, I don't like that he gave it a different name. I don't like that he used it outside. I think he started to realize also I should not be using it like this. Should be more scarce with it. And he hasn't used it in a while, and I imagine if he uses it, and when he uses it again, it'll be a more special moment. But like I said,
it'll probably be the thing that beats Page.
It should be. I should be. I'm surprised he didn't use it in the match now, and that's why I think he didn't even tease it or anything. It's because it's for another time. But yeah, the Tiger Driver 91 is what he has to do. Essentially unsealing a devil's technique, because that's what it would have been at the time. Like, I don't want to use this. I don't generally use this. I didn't mean to use it the first time I used it. But this motherfucker has given me everything, and I don't know how else I'm going to beat him. So he does the Tiger Driver, and he beats him. And it's like a big moment, because in Japan, obviously, it's a loss. But in Japan, also the story of like the valiant warrior who tried, it also gets over just as big. And that was not Kawada's night, unfortunately. But the story told in the ring, built off of everything that happened leading up to that, both the combination of like the real life and the in-ring, it was everything. And like I said, obviously, you can enjoy this match because it was so good. You can enjoy it on its own. You can get this story that I'm telling you of the valiant warrior who comes so close without any of the context. It's it's all in there. You can watch that on its own. But that is not my number one. Honestly, that is not even in my top 5. It's in my top 10. It's number 6. It's right there. It's on the edge. I'm on the edge. On the edge. It is my number 6, and it is one of the greatest matches in the history of pro wrestling. But number 1 for me is, and this is like legit the best match. It's got the distinction of being what I think is the best match I've ever seen, and also my favorite match I've ever seen. That's not a thing that I can usually put together. Those things can be different. Like, they can be two different things. But
I think it's healthy for them to be different most of the time.
It is. It should be. I think you should be. It's healthy if you're able to be aware of that. If you can be aware of the difference between favorite and best, that's a good mindset to have. But this is almost the one. Maybe there's another. I have to think. Maybe probably in comics there's others. But the one that's my favorite, and I will put this against anything. I will stand it up against any fucking thing. Anything, and I feel in my heart I'd win. There's no way. This match, June 5th, 1995, Mitsuharu Misawa and Kenta Kobashi against the Holy Demon Army. Toshiaki Kawada and Akira Taue. Kawada and Taue were rivals. They were enemies, even. They
Very bloody match.
they beat blood out of each other's ears. It was fucking brutal. And then one day, after one of their violent fucking battles, they decided, I respect this motherfucker, man. Actually, I really like this motherfucker, man. I think that you and I would be a great tag team. And they
Also, would behoove my career to never do this again.
yeah, no, actually, I would never want to fight you. My brain has been shaken too much, but I like this guy. And they become the Holy Demon Army, which, first of all, the greatest goddamn name of a tag team that has ever been. The Holy Demon Army. Holy goddamn shit. That is scary. And the thing about them is that they matched the name. They were a Holy Demon Army. And in this match, Misawa and Kobashi were up against these. They were dastardly too. At this moment, there was no more friendly rivalry between Kawada and Misawa either. The Holy Demon Army was here to win by any means necessary. As a matter of fact, as soon as the bell rings, I think fucking Kawada goes and just busts fucking Misawa right off the apron. I'm not playing. We're not playing. There are no rules tonight from us. And essentially, this match is Misawa and Kobashi not just trying to defend their championships, but trying to defend each other from this brutal beatdown, from this fucking onslaught, and just constantly trying to defend each other because Kobashi comes in with his wrapped leg and there should be some respect. But no, they immediately go and attack that shit. And they're fucking beating on this broken leg and they don't care. And Misawa and Kobashi are like fucking Superman and Goku. They are pure. They are good men. They are not going to play by their rules no matter what. No matter what those guys do, they're not going to play by their rules. They're just trying to protect each other. As a matter of fact, they hit a single double team move because double team moves are illegal. There is only one double team move that they hit throughout the entirety of this match, and it's a moment where Kobashi's leg was so fucked up.
That idea does not last long.
Kobashi's leg was so fucked up that he can't lift Taue for the Tiger Bomb or the Power Bomb that he was going for. So Misawa comes out and he grabs one, he hooks one arm, and Kobashi hooks the other arm, and they both struggle. They get him up and they give him a double fucking Tiger Bomb. That's a fucking coolest shit you've ever seen, but it mattered even more because he was only doing this to help Kobashi lift this man. He can't get him up.
Uh-huh.
Kobashi is fucking beaten. He's jumping in the ring to help Misawa from getting jumped, but he can't because his leg is all fucked up, but he's still going to throw his entire body over Misawa. He's going to shield Misawa with his body because I can't do anything. My legs are fucking broken, but I can't let them kill him.
Kobashi shouldn't be in this match. He is a liability.
And they beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him, and he kept trying to stand back up and doing every fucking thing possible with a broken body to protect his friend, his partner, Misawa. It is so fucking emotional. God damn it. There are no words being spoken in this match, but the story is so clear. It's so fucking loud and clear that anyone, your grandmother who's never seen a wrestling match in her life, will be compelled by Kobashi's fucking performance in this match. He is like the emotional linchpin because Misawa, as much as I think Misawa is legitimate, he's like one of the greatest wrestlers to ever breathe and like legit, like Mount Rushmore. He's also not the biggest emoter. Like he's not
a very stoic human.
He's stoic and works for who he is too. It's like there was never a situation where I was like, gosh, I wish that Misawa would have shown more emotion. Like it's just who he was. And so to see that stoic man needed this help and he's fucking getting it from this broken motherfucker who just keeps on getting, and I'm telling you, they were killing Kobashi. They were murdering Kobashi. They were not caring about his leg. Fuck, they were working the shit out of his leg, but they were also folding him into fucking power bombs and suplexes onto his brain and just treating him like shit. And he would still fight and fucking try to protect Misawa. And unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. After like 45 minutes, Kawada finally, for the first time ever, pins Misawa, and it is like the crowd loses their shit. And this is one of these things about these matches. It's like they build to a fever pitch. The fucking audience will be losing their minds by the end of this match. You will sometimes go the final 15 minutes of just these audiences just absolutely losing their fucking minds in these 100-degree buildings. And this was one of those situations. And this was just every single thing on this night came together perfectly. It's the greatest fucking match I've ever seen. It's my favorite fucking match I've ever seen. It's shot. It's even shot beautifully. Even goddamn fucking cinematography in this bitch. It's fucking Martin Scorsese wrestling. They got fucking. They got
cinema.
They got moments where there's two separate scenes happen, like two separate points of action, and
I
sometimes
feel like the most impressive thing about it is how many times I hear about like they don't like there's not a big focus on the TV in Japan, but they still get it.
it's like there was a focus on getting the action. It was like no matter what, we're gonna get the action, and you don't have to cut from this submission struggle to the rope where the other partner is being held so that he doesn't interfere. It's like we're shot in a way where you got the submission struggle and focus, and then in the background, it's completely there, but it's also blurred because it's a background, but it's there's the whole struggle is happening, and you can see Misawa's in the stretch plum. And Kobashi trying to fight out from Taue's fucking grip in the background, but he can't do it. He can't do it, and he finally does get out. And fucking Kawada and Misawa still don't know that Kobashi's out, but we do because we see the whole thing happening. It's beautiful. I could go on for hours and hours and hours, and I want to. I watched them back to back again yesterday, just to see for sure. Because I was like, man, maybe after I watched 6-3-94, I was like, fuck it, maybe
it's just my memory.
Maybe 6-9-95 isn't gonna be that good. Because shit, that was fucking. And it was like, damn, this was better. It was better because it had that emotional linchpin. It had the emotion. It had the obvious, just that obvious story that I think any human could connect to on any level. Like anybody who watches anything, you don't have to be a wrestling fan to watch this shit and feel like, God, that orange man. I just want to hug him. It's incredible. I love it. I know you said you could. I said when we were talking, Greg, I know you said you didn't remember for sure. You got to go back. I need someone else with fresh memories of this match. This match is what. This match is one of the reasons why I was so proud to find all four autographs. Obviously, all four pillars are all four pillars, but when I see these four autographs together, I think of this match. It's like, and it's from the same time period too. It's like, these men wrote with pens after this. But I couldn't go to bed without talking about 6-3-94, 6-9-95. Just literally part of the reasons why I love doing this shit every week. The Ditch. Google The Ditch. All Japan Pro Wrestling if you're interested.
Is that still up?
In a way, you have to you have to pull it up through a Wayback Machine. But the download links still work.
Interesting.
It is. I was like, oh, I don't know how this works that way, but you know what? I won't question it.
That was a great page. I found so much cool shit there.
That's how I did the All Japan the King's Road thing. I just like started at the bottom of the ditch.
You followed that in order.
Yeah, and I was like, let's go. And then they would give like little reviews on every match, and so it'd be like if it's not worth watching, it would say like, oh, this one's clipped, or there wasn't that much heat,
Yeah.
So you like I always had a bit of a like, I didn't trust him 100%. Obviously I would cross-reference the ditch list with other reviews. It was a whole thing, but I had a system.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you can still access it through the archive. I'll send you a link. But I think it did go down. Like I think the regular way it went down. I think if you just try to go to the ditch, it did go down. But obviously, a lot of this stuff is
A lot
owned.
of incredible Noah and All Japan stuff.
All of it is owned by. Well, the All Japan stuff is owned by the TV network.
Yes.
Who the fuck is N TVN or whatever the fuck? I forget. What the fuck.
I think it's G Plus.
Yeah, somebody owns all this shit. G Plus owns the Noah stuff. G Plus owns the Noah stuff. Somebody owns the All Japan stuff though. The library.
Oh, Gayoda?
Oh, Mac
Maybe?
says he's gonna watch both and write notes. Oh my God, Mac, you're gonna love him. You're gonna love him.
Is it
You're
Gayoda TV?
Yes. Yeah. Wait.
'Cause-
I wanna see who the fuck owns
Gayoda,
AEW.
Gayoda will upload a bunch of old All Japan shit on the YouTube. That's the stuff I was sending you. That was like some All Japan stuff that's like HD'd.
I'm gonna fucking no. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember saying like, "Damn, they've got to get a fucking they've got to get the rest of it up." NTV. It is NTV.
Okay,
And not
okay.
M, not the music channel, and like Nancy. Nancy TV. Yeah, they own
Nancy
all those
TV.
fucking matches. It's funny because All Japan launched a fucking video service in 2018, and the only thing people wanted was the fucking 90s stuff. And we were
And
like,
they're like, yeah, that's not how that works.
sorry. There's a didn't like isn't there wasn't there a disaster and NTV like lost a lot of masters? I want to say
I
there
don't
was
remember this story,
yeah, I
but
want to say there was something to the effect of tapes being destroyed. But we always have our thankfully tape traders in the 90s who were desperate to get their hands on these matches. We've got their archives. That's what we've been working with all these years in the ditch, and the guys on YouTube.
Maybe that's
and,
why some of them stopped getting taken off YouTube. They're just like, we don't have it to sell. Just let them do it.
I think that a lot of the 1990s, all the stuff that NTV owns, you could pretty much find on YouTube with no real issue.
And I'm just imagining just NTV just like, look, we don't have it. Let them fucking watch it.
Right? Just give it to them.
It's not like we can sell the fucking thing anymore.
If I was them, I'd be collecting from the ditch too. I'm like, we're fucking get that shit back. Get this. We're selling this to someone. But yeah, man,
God, that stuff must be actually really difficult to remaster.
I can't imagine. Well, I guess today with AI remastering and stuff, maybe we'll see.
Maybe I feel like people will read about like the actual quality of the AI remasters, but
I like the grit. I like watching All Japan stuff, and I like when it's got the tape jump. It's got the little the little stream, the black line that just goes up and down. I like that shit. It feels good. It feels like I'm watching a tape. Like I tape traded too. I'm a tape trader too. I fucking wish I was like a baby. I had a fucking fucking what are those hats called? The baby hats with the umbrella on top. I was definitely wearing those.
I never bet you knew the name. Yeah.
I'm a tape trader too. Nah, but yeah, man. I always someday I would love to
I remember my friend's uncle trying to put me on to because I guess we were
Japanese wrestling.
Yes, because his uncle had done some tape trading.
What the fuck?
I think he was trying to put me on to like Mike Awesome and Kobashi in like the 90s.
You knew a tape trader? What the fuck?
He was my friend's uncle. I didn't like know him.
You knew a tape trader. You knew fucking you knew a real life tape trader. I was too young. I'm a forum child. That's the evolution of a tape trader. I was a forum child. We found this stuff online, but shit. Tape traders are my grandfathers.
I meant to ask you if you knew.
You know what?
Does Death Valley Driver still run?
DVDR. That's funny because I was able to pull up the DVDR list, right? But I don't know if Death Valley Driver is actually still running. If it isn't, then Tony should put some money in that bitch. It is. Wait.
Part of me wants to like drop in and just like, what are people saying about wrestling?
It is. DVDR message board is still up. It's still up. God,
I might drop in.
I might have to come in here. Oh my god! I bet they don't
Yeah.
like me. I bet they don't like me. This is a bad
You
thing
think they
about.
know you?
That's a bad thing. I'm starting to find out that I didn't ever consider. Like sometimes I'll be like,
Oh, that you
what's
actually left a mark on people.
yeah, what's this place? And I'm on Reddit, and they're like, I hate that John Escudero guy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Did that actually happen?
That's actually happened. That's actually
Oh
happened.
no!
Actually, I find I hate that John Escudero guy a lot. They don't like me. I was like, damn, I'm really doing something right.
What'd you do?
You just like, oh, so yeah, I found out today. There's this guy. He was like, we were talking about there were some funny accounts, some of the rage bait accounts where they were like tweeting about,
course.
Mariah May when she was still in AEW. Like, look at this Tiffany Stratton ripoff, bullshit. And then like the day she comes
I
to
saw that
NXT,
one.
you got the tweet that's like, yeah, we love you, so glad to come over. And
That's
so
like Hio Uzi.
yeah, the Kylie Ray account. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Is that what people are saying?
yeah.
Oh
It's a joke.
Jesus!
It's a joke, but also maybe not. Who knows? That's got There's a wrestler in the company that allegedly has a burner account that has over 20,000, 30,000 followers, and they tweet shit like that.
Somebody outed them for that, right?
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp was big ass.
Yeah.
As in, a burner account only works when nobody knows it's burner. If you know there's a
Right.
burner to look for, eventually someone will find it.
Eventually, someone's gonna look through a whole bunch of tweets and just like, I've seen the clues.
Max says, shout out to IVP Videos for getting me into Japanese wrestling, and shout out to my buddies in the South Boston who taped WWF and ECW PPVs on VHS and let me borrow. Talking about tapes, while I didn't know any tape traders, I did have a really nice lady who was my grandma's friend. Her name was Tita, and her brother Sam was in jail.
It's the most Puerto Rican.
Yeah, she's very Puerto Rican. Her brother Sam was in jail, and he was a big wrestling fan. And so she
Okay.
would record every single WWF event, everyone, pay-per-views, and the weekly shows. So she had an archive of videotapes, and that was my first wrestling library. That was my first. I would literally, like the library, I would borrow them in chronological order. I would. This is how I watched the Attitude Era.
Decimal and everything.
She had them. They were regular, the VHS tapes recorded, and it's just like a label that said Raw.
Think about the Dewey Decimal System.
No, it's like it was good. It was like a label that said like Raw 1990. This would be 99, 2000. And so every pay-per-view, every Raw, and I would watch the tapes and I would bring them back, and it was like if I was watching it as it happened. And this was my VHS experience. And that's kind of, I guess technically could have traded those tapes. Hey, yo, look what I got on deck. I'm looking for some All Japan, and I'm not talking about some bullshit clips. I want the good stuff. I want the long matches, no commercial interruptions. I want that.
I want the slow mo at the end of the tape.
Ironically, it's 6/3/94. If you watched it live, it wasn't live, right? It was taped, and they had to air it across 2 episodes of All Japan Pro Wrestling. And so
they did that shit a lot, and I found out people hated it.
Of course, can you imagine? Can you imagine a cliffhanger on a match? I gotta wait till next week to see if he kicks out of that suplex.
Yeah. I think there was an infamous one with Ricky Choshu that just pissed people off.
And so this match had gained such a reputation, and people had written so many letters in that they did eventually release it by itself on tape. And when I heard that,
gotcha, bitch.
Immediately in my heart, the collector in me thought, I must find this. I must find this
that version of it.
I want to find this tape. I want to see what the box art looked like. I want to find this tape, and I want to display this shit. And I know that's going to be an impossible search, but it's always going to be on the tip of my mind. Like, it's always going to be something I'm not like actively searching for, because how do you find that? But like, always going to be thinking about it. Now that I know it exists, it's out there somewhere. I want that. I need.
Those are some of my favorite little details, because like one of my favorites is I want to talk about a really long All Japan match that I am a big fan of. It's Dr. Death Steve Williams versus Ken Kobashi.
Yes.
There was a point where I was on a real like big Steve Williams kick. which is good for anybody, in my opinion.
It is. Just don't watch the WWF stuff.
Yeah. No, fuck all that. And great match with Ken Kobashi. Goes super long, but it's a badass match and really solidifies how great like Steve Williams was in that theater, so to speak. But it has the slow motion highlights of the match done to like I think it was a Japanese cover of I Love It Loud.
What?
It's fucking hilarious. They had a few of those where like they can't license the real song, so they just had a Japanese band cover it.
That's beautiful. Honestly, I think we need more. We need more of this. We need.
I wonder how easy it is to license a cover.
Do you have to license a cover? Like, can you just cover?
You need permission. You need permissions and all that stuff. Because remember, I say remember, but like, have you heard about all the times that like there were those weird disputes about whether or not Weird Al got permission for some of those songs?
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I figured people like him were able to do it.
Yeah, no, like Weird Al always had to get like permission for some of those, and he never did a song that didn't get cleared by the artist.
Pussy. But,
why Weird Al? He's only giving us joy throughout our lives.
I did really like Constipated. Yeah, that's my shit. Why'd you have to go and make me so constipated?
And I think most people love Amish Paradise.
Amish Paradise. Gosh, what's the one about decapitation? This is the person that got decapitated on a roller coaster. I forgot what fucking song that is.
I forgot what song that is too. Yeah.
But yeah. No,
But yeah,
we'll go ramble. We'll go ramble off air and let you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
I'm trying to find the match now.
Thank you for joining us. Go out. Listen, you want to walk the King's Road? Joseph Monticello has an incredible YouTube series called Walk the King's Road, and unfortunately, I think he's on the verge of abandoning it. But we'll see. Maybe he'll just work on it slowly over the next few years, the way he has.
I think it was a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but honestly, somebody's got to do it, because if he doesn't, then it'll just end up us two doing a fucking podcast.
Oh yeah, because you're so opposed to that.
Don't do that to us, Joseph. We'll start at the fucking beginning. I'm setting up 10 years worth of content, baby.
Don't make me watch Jackie Stan Hansen.
No, we're going back. We're going to Ricky Chosu. Ricky Chosu.
I was gonna say, I think Choshu's more later. Oh no!
I was gonna say Ricky goes
no.
in, but it's 3 a.m.
John.
What's that?
Recently fired Blair Davenport just won Money in the Bank.
Oh fuck! Gosh, Greg's WWE Universe mode is cruel. I did find out Blair Davenport has an OnlyFans.
Yes.
Wow.
I think her and Layla pretty much launched them nearly at the same time.
And now, wait, who?
Cora Jade, Elena Black.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. For them.
Get your money.
I don't usually pay for OnlyFans.
Just get your money. That's all I'm saying.
But I think that wrestling fans, there's definitely wrestling fans out there who would. So get that money. They're, like she said, they're gonna be creeps anyway, right? So you should get paid for it. And if I was a girl, I would. If I was sexy enough, that might be the thing. That might be the problem. Right? I think I need enough people to tell me I'm sexy first.
We are not doing that.
I want to be sure that I'm sexy. I don't want to open an OnlyFans and nobody subscribes. That's embarrassing.
That's what you need, just a disappointment.
That's humbling. I'm not. He doesn't wear revealing clothes anymore. I wonder why. I guess I can wear sweaters and
God.
sweatpants after that. I don't. Hope you all burn in hell. Hey, listen, that's us, man. Dershi Radio is live all the time. We be doing shows all the time. Tyler has had a bit of
So
a
many
work
shows.
situation, so he hasn't been able to do Monday Night Raw. And
Okay.
I don't think it's responsible of me to do Monday Night Raw by myself. Honestly, it's just gonna be me shitting on it. It's not objective. It's not gonna be objective at all. I don't think it's fair.
It's not coming from a good place.
It isn't. It isn't. I'll be at the end of Raw like, God, I hated my experience here tonight. and everybody's online like, wow, that was so fun. Seth Rollins, he did the thing again. And I was like, that was fucking whack. And I don't want to be JD from New York. Like, I don't want to be that guy who's yelling into the wind about something everybody loves. Unless it's real funny. Like, it's funny. I
Yeah.
like to laugh. I don't want to be malicious about it. Like, God,
You know what's interesting? I think that's what drove me away from the Cornette show when he realized like most of the money I can make now is basically reviewing the fucking WWE and AEW every week, and it's basically just a man being forced to watch something he hates, complain about it on a weekly basis.
I'm gonna
And I
fucking
was
hate my
like-
life.
And I was just like, damn it! I liked Cornette when he talked about old shit that he loved.
Yeah. Yep. They sucked the passion out of him. That's what it is. Now his passion is
like-
I like money.
Yeah, now it's just Cornette complains about the thing he didn't like to begin with, but has to watch it for business reasons. It's even worse with Russo because he didn't have the charm.
It doesn't help that they locked him out of any other opportunities to make money in wrestling.
Who Cornette?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
all he has. It's
Doesn't he
but I
still
mean,
do appearances and stuff?
no. Where is he appearing at?
Oh, I haven't listened to the show. I figured if he did, I don't.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
And I
Certainly
don't really
not.
follow the indies like that anymore.
No, I
Since
gotta
the indies are
follow.
kind of.
I don't
Ugh.
follow the indies match to card to card, but I am at a place now with pro wrestling where if something happens, I will know. I
You know,
have my fingers are in every pot.
I've meant to ask you, if you have indulged in it. These people keep talking about DPW like it's the resurgence
knew-
of good indie wrestling.
I knew you were gonna say DPW. I don't know how, but
I've
I
never
knew.
seen any of it, so I'm asking if you have.
I've seen
I have no
clips.
opinions.
I know that the Deadlock Pro guys are funny. I've seen clips of their show. I've seen clips of their
Sure.
wrestling show, but I don't have any
Yes,
real
I know Pulse.
context for the wrestling show. Like, I know
Okay.
that people like it. I know that people root for it, and I know that they
Okay.
do cool things. Like, it's like the last remaining. Like, I guess you have GCW, which is its own real thing. I don't think that's really representative of like indie wrestling as a
I
whole.
don't think
right
it is
now.
either. And I think that was part of the interesting thing about it. People were talking about DPW like it's it's the return of the good. I would say the good indie wrestling, but like it was
Yeah.
they speak of it in the same tone that they tried to say like Ring of Honor was or something like that. Like that pastime of indie wrestling, you know?
And I can see it. I mean, I've gotten that vibe from just the
Okay.
things I've seen, even without people having to say it outright. Like, I've gotten that vibe from the things I've seen, the conversations I've seen, the clips I've
Okay.
seen. I think that I would like to check a show out eventually. I just don't know where I jump in. What should I go backwards or see? I
Yeah.
think our boy DJ Danny Ocean was just at DPW last weekend with Lashes and Lariats. Whose name I forgot. Whose actual real name I forgot. Sorry, lady. You're very nice though. I don't have anything against you.
Is that a podcast?
Yeah, she's she was on the Will Ospreay interview with us.
Oh yes, I do remember seeing that.
She's very nice.
I
lady.
actually,
Just forgot her name.
I actually remember thinking that's a clever name.
It is Lashes and Lariats. I dig it. Like I said, no offense. I smoke a lot of weed and I forget things. So, nothing against you.
I've had some head damage.
it's like CTE but for the lungs.
Sia Marte?
Yes, yeah, that's her name. Yep.
Mm.
God, you're good. You get Hacker Man.
Just from the YouTube. Shut up.
Speaking of that Will Ospreay interview,
Talk to you like I'm fucking Jamie.
the Will Ospreay interview is still
Hey, Jamie, can you pull that
available.
up?
It's out there. You can go check it out whenever you want. Oh yeah, we're leaving. We are leaving, but on that Will Ospreay interview, we asked him about the dream matches, and he mentioned AJ Styles, and that clip went viral, and all the news people took it and they clipped it out of fucking context, and it was headlines everywhere. AJ Styles really wants you to quit your job, even though it's a joke. And
you did want to talk about AJ Styles, yes, that's right.
Yeah, and so as it turns out, I was doing a little looking, and I was like, when the fuck did AJ Styles resign? Look, and he didn't. He fucking did. And it's the last update that we had on AJ Styles was in September, and it said that his contract was up in 2025. And
he was talking about it like it's probably the last contract I'll ever sign.
And it was early 2025, but he got injured, so you imagine they added injury time on it.
Of course.
And so now everybody's looking around like, hold on a second. AJ, what's going on? Like, is he,
right.
They'd be re-signed. You would just be re-signed. And if you would think if he was going to retire, you would do something. I mean, I don't know what it's like there now, but I would imagine he's a guy, he's acquired enough of a legacy in WWE where if his intention was to retire at the end of the contract, it would be written into television. At least. It's AJ Styles. I mean, even in WWE's lexicon, he's a legend. Even if you're not looking at him as the AJ Styles I see him as, the world-traveled greatest of all time, one of.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're just a WWE superstar AJ Styles, he's a Hall of Famer.
He's gonna get that spot one of these days. He's probably gonna headline.
Right? So
I think we're at this point where AJ Styles is a future headliner for that show.
I believe personally that, and I don't know this man, but I don't know anything about this man. I have no basis. I just have weird vibes. I have the vibe that AJ Styles really, really appreciates his time in WWE and might even feel loyalty to WWE. I know some people think if his contract is coming up, it might be possible. I don't think it's impossible. First of all, I certainly don't think it's impossible, especially knowing how badly he wanted to wrestle Okada and Will Ospreay one more time before he retired.
Is that true?
Yeah, because when they signed with AEW, AJ did the interview saying, "Man, I wish that other guys out there would see that WWE is not the way it used to be." Like, he's sad.
Yeah.
He's like, "Damn it, I wanted Okada." So,
I feel like Okada was definitely one of those things where it's just like if I'm gonna come to America, I gotta trust my friends.
Yeah, and also the little brown man is paying a lot. I like these guys. Everything is going good over here. I got my friends. He's throwing millions. I like him. And of course, you wasn't going to entice Okada with a WrestleMania moment. What the fuck he's going to do with that? Thanks. I got like 8 of those. I do that. I used to do that all the time, actually.
Man, I've had these moments where I almost get into arguments because it's one of those things where the WrestleMania moment with Okada came up, and I'm just like, does the WrestleMania moment mean that much to all the Japanese, especially if you were already a top star?
But especially if you were at the Dome, especially
that's what I mean.
Main evented the dome. They have already given you the extra special entrance. You had a dinosaur. You had a fucking cloud sword. You had a glow. You were glowing. He was glowing. How did they pull that off?
He was glowing.
He
Yes.
was glowing.
He was not. Yeah, I guess
Man,
hologram. Okada.
Yeah, shit. One time he just came out dressed as the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I was like, what? What does that even mean? It's written all over my fucking body. The story of my promotion that I've carried. Like, holy shit. Like, he's had it all. I don't think
That's just one of those things where like, do they weigh WrestleMania up against what they do?
yeah, and then you
I think some do. To be clear,
Of course. I mean, of course, there's always gonna there's too many people in the world for anything to be absolute. I'm sure there's people in Japan that watch.
Like I'm willing to believe Tanahashi looks at WrestleMania and just goes,
I'd like one, just one.
But also because I know that Tanahashi was a Shawn Michaels guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying like, what's the draw? Usually for something like that, it's the idea that I'm gonna wrestle in front of 60,000 people. They're gonna call my name or whatever. Okay, and if you were in Japan, I did that. No, 50,000, 20,000, 30,000.
Yeah.
I did it.
And also, like, if you came up on Japanese wrestling, like that's probably your peak. I don't know.
And that's why they didn't get him. And that's why they got someone like Mariah and they got Stephanie, and that's why they take pay cuts for the dream. Take a pay cut for the dream. I mean, gosh. I imagine it's more of a gamble on yourself. I am taking this pay cut because I believe I'm going to get paid millions on the next one.
Yeah.
Because shit, Tony would
gonna
have had my ass. I don't give a fuck about the WrestleMania. Why you see the 0 on this shit?
Dude, there are people who will talk about it in that way. Like, you get to this point where you are either still beholden to quote the dream of like what WrestleMania could be, or you're just like, but this money though.
I don't even shit. I guess my thing is like, I guess I always appreciate the art more than the sale.
Stage?
The sale of it all. Okay, the stage is cool, but if you have a big stage where you can also present art that you were able to put input
No,
on,
I'm saying you care about the art more than which stage it is.
Yeah.
That's
No, for sure. I just don't. That would be me. That's why my perspective is skewed, because I'm like, I want to paint. I need the canvas. And over here they are like, put this shape in the hole. Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. Like, there was a time, and like, this was a conflict between me and the guy I was running with at the time. Like, there was a very long time where I was just like, yo, I could never do WrestleMania if I did the Tokyo Dome, and I'd be fucking happy. I don't give a shit. You know? And like, he to him, the top of the industry is WrestleMania. Why would you want to do anything but that? I was like, because I don't want to work for that fucking company.
Yeah. I don't want to walk through the cartoon portal. Is the thing. I don't. It's a portal. You gotta walk.
I always imagined, and obviously, big imagination is back when I was wrestling. I always looked at it as like, if I could do it all my way, like WWE is the place I'd go after I did all the shit I wanted to do. You know? So like, I've done everything I want. Let's go make this money for however long this money's gonna come my way. And if they fire me, well, then I'm going home because I did everything I wanted.
I would have been very, very grateful for something like AEW coming into existence. If only for the same reason like Bryan Danielson was. I would have looked, because as a fan, I look at it the same way. Like, oh, those are the guys who are gonna like they. It's not so much that they put the wrestling first to the point where they don't want to make money, but they've tried. The guy is trying to figure out how to make money with wrestling.
Sure.
Rather than
and
wrestling
that's going to be commendable too. That's going to be commendable too. I know. I've always thought of WWE the way and Lance says it didn't actually end up turning out that way because they did good stuff for him. But I look at it the way Lance Storm did, where he's just like, okay, well, this is WCW. Gonna kind of check my passion at the door and do business and make this money and take care of my family. And
Yeah.
that's always the way I looked at WWE.
Yep.
So like that was my opinion on it from a wrestling standpoint, and as somebody who really put a lot of thought and a lot of heart into like the art of it. WWE is something I want to do after I did everything I wanted. I wouldn't really care to go because like
You just could do
God
the
forbid.
Nakamura.
Yeah, and like because like God forbid, this is the tricky part, right? Let's say you go early because like you're just there, like you did the tryout. It didn't matter at the point, but like imagine it just works and you get the deal and like okay fine, I'm fucking 25, maybe I'll just take the WWE deal. We'll see what happens, and then you're there for 15 years.
So as it turns out, they really like me. I've had
And
the
now
good.
I'm just doing WrestleMania, and I'm just like, I didn't really get to do the shit I wanted to because I'm just here making the money.
That's the craziest thing. He's Brian. He said he's supposed to go out for the main event of WrestleMania. He was like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I gotta get out of here.
I think as good an example, and like bless him because he got to do it. Like I believe at one point you could have convinced MVP that his chance was gone.
Yeah.
That New Japan just wasn't in his future, and he was never going to get to work that stuff. And like he was fortunate that he was able to, but like it would be very easy to think like I'm in the system now.
I think he MVP's career ended up going pretty well. I don't know how he feels about it. I wonder how he feels. I think it's a good one.
I think he did. I know he's going to talk about a lot of stuff because he's got this podcast thing now.
I want to hear it. I want to hear what these guys say.
Talking, baby.
He likes to say shit, and he's not bullshitting, man. He's not bullshitting. He means that shit. I want to see
one of the few people who, when he talks, I'm just like, he ain't making this shit up.
I saw as soon as he said all that stuff, and people were like, "Man, what is he talking about Triple H?" And then and then R-Truth and Carlito went, and I was like, "Hey, what's the color scale on this? Hold on, what are we doing?"
MVP does not mince many words about Hunter.
No, he thinks Hunter's he noticed all the same iron crosses I noticed.
Jesus.
Why is he so into that? Does he know what Lemmy used to do for fun?
I feel like MVP and Swerve are both of the two guys who were just like, I don't know about this Hunter guy.
I think that's what they bond over. I told you. You did tell me.
Yeah, let's get off here.
Yeah, we could go. You guys have fun. Go to bed. Have a good night or have a good day if you're driving. Mac, don't let any trains crash. I'm not actually sure what you do at work, but do it good. Do it well. I'm proud of you.
Whatever you do it right.
Right. And let me know when you check those matches out what you think. Have a good night.
He wants an essay.
I do, actually. I want a 16-word essay. It's not a very large essay. It's
16 words? It's not even a paragraph.
I'm a bad teacher. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.